You ready? You ready to see what does say Mr. Yahuah? Everybody all right? That'd be good to see y'all. I know they won't be regular. That mean y'all show up. That mean Ukal Shabu be about 5 people. Ain't that right? Y'all get your sick day set up so you be ready for Ukal Shabu. Ain't that right? That'll be next a card. They call it next Sunday. I'll be coming in and try to let these groups out the box a little. I try to let people get a chance to exercise their gift. Let them get out and do their thing a little bit. Appreciate them. Appreciate what Yahuah has granted to all of us, especially, Kai itself. Though it might seem like a small thing to a lot of us, it's a big thing on other ends. I remember I think I mentioned to somebody today about the young lady in Guyana that set the fire to the dormitory. And what, she killed 23 people? Other people in the dorms because they took her cell phone. They've been exposed a relationship she was having with a grown man. So she threatened to burn the woods down and burn the building down and everything. And she did it. Exactly what she told me she's gonna do, 14 years old. And she just ran her life. She can never go back, replay that. She can never fix it. She can never mend it. I asked a question on the show last night, and I don't know if people really consider it or think about it, but I know I made a lot of bad decisions in my life that I wanted to go back. If I had a life eraser, I'd erase a lot of things, but no doubt while I'm erasing, I want to be erasing myself. But there's some key things in your life. You said if I could at least erase this, that it never happened. You set a fire and you killed 23 people. You can't wipe that. Ain't no probation, ain't no home arrest, ain't no forgiveness. It ain't no first time offender. You just destroyed a lot of people's lives in your own at the same time. And that's something she can never go back and she can ever take that back. It don't matter what she does in life. That's always gonna haunt her. They always gonna remember her for that. It'll be people that look at, I lost my child because it'll be brothers, it'll be sisters, it'll be uncles, it'll be grand. There's so many people hate her right now, want her dead, and when you make a decision, you don't consider how many people you affect, how many people that'll never forgive you and the weight of what you got to carry for the rest of your life. She got to carry that to her grave. The fact, 9 times out of 10, she'll die in prison. You don't kill 20-something people and you think, okay, you've been in here long enough, we're going to let you go. You still got the victims, the people that's related to them, the horror, how horrific this whole thing is, the devastation is there, and you just think about how many bad decisions have we all made individually, and you felt like they were bad enough decisions, you could just die for them. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes life can trap you in. You can have a situation, you realize, and this situation bad enough for me to just die. I don't even want to live and face people. But here she is, 14 years old, and life hadn't really started for her yet. It's over. Her life is over. Her life of being married, being a mother, being an entrepreneur, whatever it might be, that's gone. At 14, your whole life is wrecked from a simple decision. These done phones. Saints start telling parents about these phones, but I know they ain't gonna listen. They just, the baby gotta have one. But she 2, and she need to call and, talk to Barney and SpongeBob. Like, it makes no sense to me. But that's what happened. These phones, this girl wrapped her life into a phone to where when they took it from her, she saw fit to kill everybody. Is that not scary? Yeah. That's scary. And she has no idea. I'm sure she's looking back thinking, go to sleep and wake up and this whole thing a dream. You can't erase that. You can't sleep it off. You can't walk it off. You can't live it off. You can't drink it off. You can't smoke it. You can go get high. You can get drunk. You coming straight back to sober. And you got to deal with, this your life. You're going to be hated of everybody. And you think about it. What would you be like today if that was you? There's a lot of things we might have blamed the Creator for. There's a lot of things we might have wanted to go different. A lot of things we felt like wasn't fair. A lot of things didn't work out for us the way it was. What if that was your life at 14? What if that was your life at 14? That's it. That's it. Everybody hates you. Everybody hates you on top of the fact she probably hate herself. She probably hate herself, no doubt. As a kid trying to process that, and they looking at, this is so serious. She probably think I want to just go home. You will never see your home. The people you know, the people you love, they'll be dead by the time you ever get out. You got life in here. And you know, as a child, just think about mentally how that's going to just destroy her. Just think of her parents. She don't even look at what kind of situation she put her parents in. No doubt they probably want to kill her parents. Think about it. They looking at, man, my kid gone. Somebody need to die. Her parents still living, they need to die. You know, you got to think about 23 people, everybody in processing it the same way. If she got brothers, sisters, whomever, they probably people looking at, they need to die. And she got to look at all this because of you. Her own family probably looking at saying, I hate the day I ever had you. You think about it, man, you got to live in a village. And when you living in places like typically how our people are raised, or like in South American countries or African countries, they live a different type of lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? You connect to so many people, and a lot of stuff is look at, you bring shame to your family. This is like the ultimate shame. The fact that I know these people who kids you kill. These people can't just deal with me and say, well, I'm gonna still deal with you. It was just your kid. When you can't get your kid back, when all you got is ashes, you're like, man, F you and your kid, everything you connect to, don't ever speak to me again, and I hope all y'all die. Because you're going to be dealing with people with hurt. And you know, as kids, and I say that to y'all, to our young people too, you can make a quick decision that can wreck your, this girl will never see the light of day. She won't get no, she was a minor then. You know, look at, man, you got to step on the psychiatrist. Something mentally wrong with you. Your phone was taken and you found it okay to tell them. She told them she was going to. It wasn't like she kicked over some gas and a lighter and it happened, you know, it was a campfire. She told them, I'm going to burn this stuff down. So her own mouth condemned her. Her own mouth condemned her. Where, what's she going to say? Remorse? You put it out of your mouth, you were going to do it. So surely you thought about it and you planned it and concocted it. So it's like, it ain't a jury and a judge gonna have mercy for her. You said you were gonna do it and you did it. And as a kid, she gotta realize she can't ever take that back. A lot of y'all kids, y'all need to think about your decisions you make. You can make a decision that can change your whole life, in your whole life. She can never get that back. She can never go back to school. She can never go she get a degree. I doubt, I don't know how they do in a South American country now. I don't know if they let you still get no education. That's only in America. They're like, you got life in prison. We're not wasting on no paper and pen on you. What you gonna write? We don't care about you learning how to read or get no education. You're gonna die in here. And see, a lot of time how countries work over there different. This is why people want to come to America. See, over in a lot of those countries, they don't feed you. If your family don't feed you, you don't eat. They don't waste no money. You're a criminal. Why would we feed you? A lot of stuff people get, like these guys come on here from, you know, the Spaniard, other people, they come over here, Nigerians, I mean, just whatever kind, you'll never live a life you get over here in their prison. Their prison out here is just like living at the Hilton for these people. They don't feed you. And some of them don't even give you a bed. You sleep on the floor. So when your family bring you your food, the guards get your food, they eat it. A lot of times they don't even give you the food because they get it. They just eat your food. So you sitting there starving. And then if you got food, what you think the other people are not thinking why you got food and we starve? So we're just gonna starve. Man, that's a blessing your family brought you something to eat. You think you're gonna eat that food? You still hungry. So you gotta sleep on a hard concrete floor. They're not giving you nothing because their end is the deterrent. So they're not feeding you, they're not giving you no blanket, and they're not making no bed. You sleeping on the floor. That concrete will deter you in the fact that you starve. No people get out of there a lot of times. They look at, yeah, I don't want to go back to them. People come in, man, they're hard now. Man, you don't get but 3 meals. You don't get no snack. I'm for like, they fed you 3 times on a day. They don't waste no time with feeding you. They say you're a criminal. As far as I'm concerned, you can starve. So, not wanting to get off on that, but getting off on the fact of, here's a kid that wrecked her life. And, you know, you can look at, well, it ain't you, but a lot of things come into your knowledge just to let you realize how fortunate you are by the Khan of Yahuah that it won you and it won your kid. Because you don't have to be a kid to make a bad decision that impact the rest of your life that you can't ever go back and erase or change. It's one thing you like, oh, this is something I got to live with. It's another thing when I never see daylight again. At 14, she'll be locked, and she could live to be 60, 70 and live in a prison. What would she know about out here? What would she know about life in general? I mean, that's enough to make you want to die. And I just want to say that because I appreciate the con of Mr. Yahuah. I appreciate the favor. You can look at all the things that work against you and all the things you're going through and it's not working out. But what you gonna do with that with the rest of your life? At 14, that's the rest of your life. Your life is over. I mean, the first time I was arrested, they had a kid in there. He was across from me. They had him in a holding cell by himself. He was 14. He was arrested with I think the other boys were like 23, 20 something. He was 14. They kidnapped a girl from Georgia Tech. She was at she worked at the drive-through at Kentucky Fried Chicken on Memorial Drive. They kidnapped her, took her, raped her, tied her up. They wouldn't let her go. He told them, no, let's kill her. They had to stop. He was 14. He wanted to kill her. They were grown with it. They shouldn't have raped her, but they were like, no, I ain't gonna kill her. He was like, no, I need to kill her. But other guys, they fought and let her got her loose and let her go, and they wound up locking him down. I mean, he was a nutcase too. 14, he should never be on the street. This wasn't nothing but a little thunderstorm brewing. He was a little short guy too. I mean, his mouth wouldn't stop. Them guys knock him in his mouth. Wasn't that stopping his mouth. He wouldn't stop. He was locked down. All he had was a hole in the floor. He couldn't do nothing. He was just, I mean, all he was doing just cussing everybody, just losing it. 14, I looking at his life over with. It's just decisions you make and stuff you do, you just don't consider. A lot of times you can think, oh, my kid know I beat him. I'm sure that girl parents will beat her too. Still did it. Stop thinking is what kind of parent you is why your kid won't do something. It's the kind of Yahuah. I mean, everybody keep talking about people in prison with single parent home. A lot of those people got two parents. I had two and I was in them. So please don't go and count it to having two parents is the only reason why your kid ain't in jail. It's just the con of Yahuah. It's a mindset. That's why it's so important to be able to live a life in front of them, to demonstrate something different. At the same time, trying to get them in where they can get to feel Yahuah. That's the most important thing. So there's levels to where you'll go. There's limits to what you'll do. People don't realize these kids ticking time bombs. Not just they ticking time bombs. You have no idea. Like when I was coming along, it was only maybe a couple of things we even would have involved our parents going to jail. Anything we did was us, but now everything involved you going to jail with your kid. Your kid hit, put an eye out with a pencil, break somebody something, do something, you going to jail. It falls right in your hands. He got us to an end where when he talked about the parents not paying for the katayin of the Benin, it come right back that we paying for it now. These kids can very well leave your bill for their behavior. You can very well pay for it. This society now, the parents will pay for the children. Y'all see that? Think about it. Depending on what your kid do, they can come right back to you. They can hold you liable and responsible. You get sued for everything you got because of something your kid did. Your kid in the car, you told them to go to the store, and your kid decide he picked up their friends and they were drinking, and your kid wound up killing somebody, and the other kid flipped that car and killed them kids in there, and they find alcohol, marijuana, and you gave them the keys. Your kid, minor, it all fall right back on you. I remember they had a young lady, what was she did? She was driving, it was on the news. She hit somebody and left the scene. And they were looking for the vehicle, and her mother, they took it to a body shop and had it fixed. Y'all remember they put an AP back looking for that car, trying to get body shops to report it? They finally caught that car. The mother had a good career and everything. Her mama went to jail. I'm sorry, her mother went to prison. So her daughter crying caused her to go to jail and her mother to go to jail. Her mother did what almost every parent would do: protect my child. But I'm sure she'd have known, I wind up going to jail for this. You need to go to jail. Yeah. So the judge told him, I remember the judge said, had you just stopped, I'd have gave you a bond. Yeah. The judge told him, said, I'd have gave you a bond. You could have fought this in court, which, it was a crime. She killed somebody, but you know what I'm saying? It's an accident too, but she decided to. I think she hit somebody while walking down the street. She was on the phone. That's what it was. She killed somebody walking down the street, and she was on the phone. That's before they passed the phone thing about being on the phone. But, you know, just think about how she just wrecked her life and how she wrecked her mother's life. You know, how things just can impact you and it comes to be a problem for you. A lot of things I think we take for granted. I took it for granted. A lot of things you take for granted. Our kids, think about it. You're an adult. You ain't smart enough to stay out of stuff. How your kids smarter than you? Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
I guess y'all want to talk about this. With everything that you so pissed with and mad with and things ain't working out for you, you could be sitting down there and it be your life hanging.
Yeah.
Man, people put you in a mess. I had a friend, my friend used to be one of my best friends. His brother, a guy came to their house and he forced his way in the house to take some marijuana from his niece. When his brother came home, he got on the boy for doing it, and they got into it, and he hit the boy in the head with a bat. And the boy went home and laid down. Of course, y'all know what happened from now. That's why he died. So he was on the run for his life. Now, the brother, who was my best friend at the time, used to be my best friend, but then he not even living now, but they took it out on him. So every time they seen, they knock him out. Because he an alcoholic now. He wasn't like that when we were coming along. But he had to pay for that every time. They come find their brother, they take it out on him every time. It was a whole family. Every time they see him, they took it out on him. Knock him out, whatever they could do to him. They wanted to kill him because they wanted to kill his brother. Had to suffer that till he wound up dying. Just some of the things that can affect you. You know what I'm saying? Something you had nothing to do with, you weren't there. You know nothing about this. But they looked at, we can't kill your brother. We're just gonna take it out on you every time we see you. Every time we see you, we're gonna take it out on you. It's just things, you know, and you could just consider how is it that Yahuah picked the people he picked to let suffer things. Now we can look at him as what? An innocent person? Yahuah looked at something different. Let it fall on you. Can you imagine that? Every time somebody knock, you don't have nothing to do with this. It won your weed, you could care less. You have no involvement with it other than that's your brother. But since we can't find your brother, we're gonna take it out on you every time we see you. And their family is off the chain. Dead set crazy. And he had to suffer that every time he seen him. Till he's dead now. You know, and people can imagine, and you can think your life in a bad situation. Yahuah can set it well, somebody else can do something, and it fall on you. It can very well fall on you. And I'm sure he had to be thinking, how I get in the middle of this? You don't even want to come, do you even want to come home? People waiting on you? You're like, they looked at, he died. We got to get somebody. They want anybody they can get that connected to him or whatever. Had it been the day like it used to be, that wouldn't have lasted long at all what they were trying to do. But see, that's what Yahuah do. He'll let you get to where you ain't in your strength no more. And further, he wound up being an alcoholic. So he wasn't the person he used to be. You know, the alcohol that drunk him up and took his liver out and got him so small, I could just about pick him up and put him on my side and carry him like a baby. But back in the daytime, he never took it, he never stood for it. But that's what I'm saying, how Mr. Yahuah can let you go. You ain't the person you used to be now. And now you got to suffer at the hands of other people until you die and you leave him. I'm appreciative for the fact Yahuah didn't choose me. Don't think, oh, I'm crazy, I'll kill somebody. That'll die out too. You can only go for so long. And there's other people, these guys were young. These were young guys, they were wild, they were crazy. You know what I'm saying? They were from the projects and they were moving in the neighborhood. You know, project folk live in the neighborhood, they used the project way. And they look at their little brother done died. And their little cousin done died. They looking at somebody need to die for this. You know, I'm for the reason I told y'all that. I think everybody do good to go back and examine your life and look at where you're at. Your life ain't bad as you think it is. Because your life could be that little girl tonight. And she can pray whatever prayer she want to pray. You ain't gonna believe it, Rob, when she wake up in the morning. She gonna still be in jail. Yahuah done designated that. How many of y'all have 14? Anybody 14, 15, 13? Let me see the hand. 13? You know, that's a year younger than 14. 15? That's a year older than 14. You see how close proximity that is? One bad decision, this girl will never see daylight again the rest of her life. When she see freedom out here, it'll be in the mosh pot. And that possibly won't be to her salvation. See, that's a lot you got to look at. This man, it ain't the fact that, I mean, of course, that's the major part. The fact that you got to go to Sheol, and that's why you got to spend eternity and got to burn. But the fact I got to suffer here too. There's some people that gonna suffer there. They look at, man, I had mine though when I was here. It ain't no, believe me, it ain't worth the mail. But in their mind, they're looking at least I got some out of this. Here's a girl at 14. What could she have possibly accomplished and done at 14? Nothing. See, I'm more like a newborn baby coming from the womb, going straight into prison. And that's where she'll die. And we ought to consider things like this, or like that, for the fact that we take a lot of things for granted. We take a lot of stuff for granted and not consider this man he conceived for whatever reason he saw fit. He looked at that girl before she got here. And when she got here, looked at, you don't have long. You know who would have liked to know that? She would have. But then she'd have made some different decisions. Think about it. What decision you'd have made? Like us, those of us, everybody in life carries scars. Everybody. I don't care how much they laugh, how much they mask. I don't care what they got. Everybody got scars. Everybody got scars. You carry. It's part of life. Scars can work to either be beneficial to where it changes you to make you be the best person you can ever be. But it's always that scar. It's always that scar. No matter how good, no matter how well you're doing, no matter how consistent you get, you got a scar. That's a good thing. Otherwise, you'll elevate yourself too high. We all gotta have them. We all gotta have them. Scars can make you. Because you always got that when you're going, you realize, I can never be too careful. I can never just take things for granted. Because I have before, and I got a scar from it. I can't put anything out to say could never happen. I got a scar. Those scars are used in life when you go. You just always remember when you see things, you see people, you realize he'll let you see, and you'll interchange with people you'll see. They have a bigger, longer scar, more detrimental scar than you got. But y'all both got scars. And you learn how to live with it. That's what you do. You learn how to live with it. It just keeps you in a state that where you never get too exalted, and you always want to make sure I don't ever fall again. That's how I try to set myself. Don't ever live too high. And I try to make sure I don't fall again. You don't want no more scars. Y'all got it? Yes, sir. Now, if it worked to your salvation, that's the whole purpose. Some of us serve better like that. They're like putting you out. Everybody need to be on parole. They be on you when you're on parole. There's stuff you can't do on parole and probation. It is. It's just stuff you can't do. Because one slip up, you can go back to jail. Some people parole so strict, they can't get a ticket. They didn't. I can't do nothing. They look at, can't afford it. They look at, I'm taking a chance on letting you out here. So I got to keep it real tight. I can't afford to let you get out here and you don't got into some major felony when we could have had a hold on you. We could have stopped it. So I'm gonna have it where you can't get a ticket. You can't drink. Can't be around nobody that can influence you. Anybody been locked up, anybody done anything, you can't be around them. You can't be around them. Like, why not though? They my friend. They're influencers. You see that? And that's how you got to be when you take on the plan of salvation, whether you know it or not. For all of us, we're on parole. So we people that's already been convicted of a crime, charged with a crime. So therefore, he look at, I can't give you that space. Well, we don't have to answer. What will we do if we get a chance to know we free, clear, debt free, and ain't nothing gonna hold against us? We them type of folks that we'll go right back to what we used to be. He's like he said, and the last state up be worse than the first. Yeah. So he keep up with that charge. Well, I tell you how it kind of works. One thing I learned you don't do. If you're out on the charge waiting to go to court, please don't get locked up. That don't look good when you go see a judge and they look like you got a lot of, you was waiting to come to, court already. You wind up getting yourself arrested again. See, we waiting to go to court. We all out on bond right now. Y'all know that? We on bond. The fact he get this opportunity, you just on bond, the court date coming. Make no mistake. And you don't need another charge before you go to court. Yeah. We need to go ahead and settle this dispute we got now. So the fact you'll get another charge on you, it's almost an insult to them. They feel like you took advantage of the system because we gave you an opportunity to get out where you can still kind of keep your life together and do things and, you know, and allow you to come back to be able to develop a defense so you can try to prove yourself whether innocent or not. And you took that time to go and commit another crime. So they find that to be kind of insult to the system. So we don't want to insult this man. Those people are natural people that won't stand to be made a fool of. You can only imagine him. He won't be made a fool of. We did that the first time. He fell for it the first time with us. He said, "What I lived," he said, we lied to him when I lived. He said, I've done it. He said, I let you fooled me before now. You talked a good talk before. He said, but you won't ever get that chance again. That was a one-time chance. We all got to lie to him and manipulate and do what we did. Although he's seen it, I gave you that opportunity. Just know you'll never get another one. That's why you only get one Yahusha. You won't get another one. Everything you lied, everything you played with, everything you deceived them with, we'll never get that chance again. Y'all got it? So you need to live like you're on parole. Y'all got it? People you know that's influencer, they can enhance your behavior to get away with him. Man, I ain't trying to go back down there. They like, hey, what nigga, we just had. Man, listen, them people watching. Y'all better act like the feds on you. They watching. That's what you tell them. They like, man, what's up? They watching. They like, hit me later. Let me tell you something, man. Now I was in the street, let me tell you something, man. If I caught wind, thought, felt like you were done. We were done. I'm not coming around you, man. No. No. They lock you up, boy, you get out of there too fast. No. Lose my number. I ain't telling you, I already know why they let you out of there. Especially you start asking questions. Man, what Dasher doing? Oh, boy, I got to go. Please let me go. Why would you be asking about somebody? You check that out. Yeah. And that about, man, let me tell you something. Man, you couldn't fool around. You knew to stay away from folk. That's how you got to treat people that come down their way. Treat them like they hot. Treat them like you can get it. Let me tell you how it works. Conspiracy. You just be taught and get you for conspiracy. That's how you got to treat them. Man, might get me and charge me with conspiracy. Fooling with you. And I'm just telling you, folk get you jammed up now. And doing like you used to do, boy, somebody, man, ride in my car. No. I know some folk from the street. I'll get them not no ride in my car. Nigga, please. You be trying to go an inch, not in my car. I don't play that stuff, man. I don't be picking folks up around this. Anything I felt, not in here. Drop that thing down. There they go. And drop. There who go? With 9/10 of the law possession. This stuff in my car, they talking about, I'm just a ride officer. This man ain't changed. Like, no, no, Jew. It ain't no Jew. I don't play. No, you can't let everybody around. You can't fool with everybody. It's good to be able to laugh about it, but it's good to be able to just know when you think he didn't care, he cares. No doubt that little girl probably feel like he don't care. But for whatever reason it is, he saw fit that that's your life. Somebody had to have that life. Little 6-year-old boy went to school, shot at teacher. Y'all remember that overseas? Go figure. Like they said, who would have known? He watching. Can you imagine that? 6 years old? And he put that on your law to go to school and shoot your teacher. Where you going from him? Back home, probation? No, we can't do that. You're gonna need a lot of psychiatric help. There's gonna be a lot of monitoring to keep you, which is pretty much gonna just keep him steered in the same way. Just think about those 6 years old. I guarantee he'd go to sleep. He like, if I could just wake up, this never happened. When he wake up, this is very much real. You'll sleep. I'm talking about it lays on you on sleep. I had started that. You don't even sleep. It lay on you sleep. You just, Oh, my eyes ain't gonna be here. You open your eyes, you still there. I done been there. I know what it like. I know what they thinking. They just think if they go to sleep and wake up, it gonna be over with. It gonna, mom and them come get you. Who will put you somewhere people can't come get you. Nobody can help you. That's why he ain't the man to play with. And guess what? I'm guilty of it. Any of y'all guilty of playing with him? Are y'all guilty of procrastinating? So what do we deserve to be? What do we do? That's the scary part. That's the scary part. How you decided that they die, they don't make it, they go right, and you say, you make it. That's the scary part that makes you so grateful at the same time. It gives you a fear. Because you say, how long? How long will he endure with you? How long? Can you afford to do something else? Is there something else you can do that he'll cover? Or have you reached your max? This salvation thing can turn around, and it could be a thing that, well, as good as it is, it could be the worst thing you ever seen. With the fact that if you turn your foot from it, if you forsake it, people, he got people, man, they in derision in their mind. They don't even know it. He got their mind. You know what? He done set their heart. He done set them on a path of destruction. And he's like, I'm gonna make this take you to destruction. Then I'm gonna meet you in the mosh pot, and that's why I'm gonna let you burn. And you're gonna suffer. Who wanna play with a man like this? Why would you play with a man like that? I'm talking about a man that can just make your whole life horrific. When you say, I could just die, that's all you can do is say it, because I'm gonna keep you alive. I want you to suffer. I want you to suffer in shame. Then I'm gonna kill you later, and then I'm gonna make you burn. He ain't the man to try. Think about what can you do? Let's do that. Let's all us get together. Let's catch a flight. Let's go up here and tell him he's finna stop this stuff. Can we do that? Is that possible? What we get Bezos to build us a space shuttle, fly out there and get him, and we grabbing this car and say, look, we can't keep doing this. It's too much pressure. That's the thing about it. What can we do? We ain't got no strength. That's what I'm saying. It'd be different if we got enough of us together. Let's do this. Let's sign a petition. Let's do a sit out where we sit out with a sign. No Shabbat till you change and do what we want. Will this work? That's what I'm saying. So on the thing, let's go with what's logical, what makes sense, what's practical, what can be done. How about we do what the man said? Because everybody agreed it ain't gonna work. He showed it ain't gonna work. You've been marching up here to the Capitol. You done sat on the Abraham Lincoln nuts and you ain't accomplished nothing. See what I'm saying? He ain't the man. That's all we're looking at. When I say he ain't the man we want to try. He ain't the man we can get around. He ain't the man we can keep playing with. And the fact that he didn't cut us off, and we could have learned, you know what? We could have learned that in the mosh spot. You know when a lot of people gonna learn that? In the mosh. Is that where you want to learn it? Is that where you want to sit down and you know what? You sit in my pot and you get up and you say, hold on for a minute. I done messed up. I should have been doing a whole lot of stuff. And all the knowledge come to you right now. You know, the book says, you said, you can quote all this, you have all this, and I gave it to you. Because where you finna go, that way you finna burn at. You and everything you know finna burn. When I tell y'all, this man is so tuned. I used to hear him say, surpassing all understanding. I didn't say nothing. That's what they say, that's what it is. I quoted it, yeah, surpass all understanding. Until you get the knowledge and realize, what's the logic in that? What's the logic? What's the logic I picture? What's the logic? How many of y'all know anybody? How many of y'all had best friends? Close friends? I mean, some people y'all did stuff alike, maybe dressed alike, had a lot of y'all like the same teams, maybe a lot of same stuff. Y'all were almost like brothers and sisters, because y'all had people like that. So let me go. Why he didn't pick them? You were so close, and you liked the same things. Y'all, even the things y'all disagreed about, it was fun. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all were friends, and it was funny that this one little thing or whatever it was, you know what I'm saying? But this came in. This came in. Changed the whole game. Changed the whole game. And he saw fit. He could have turned around and said, I like your friend better than you. Don't even have to tell you about explaining. I just like your friend better than you. So I choose your friend and not you. Now, of course, you would have never known this because you'd have been doing what you would have been doing on Saturday night. Not Saturday, Saturday. Friday night. You've been doing what you do on Friday night. So you'd have never known like your friend. None of this would have never made sense. Because the God you serve, he look past your fault and supply all your needs. See, the God you serve, he already know what you're going to do before you do it. And guess what? He already paid for it. And the good thing about the God you serve, you don't worry about what no man say. Because man ain't God. That would have been your testimony if he'd have picked your friend. Yeah. If he'd have picked my friend, that'd been my testimony. It ain't up to no man, it's up to God. And nobody said it was up to man, but Alahym put it in the heart and put it in the part of a man to declare what he gonna do. That's the thing about, guess what? It's a lot of people that don't make sense. Let me tell y'all about y'all. Speaking on behalf of y'all friends, because you're funny. The fact that y'all said to let a man convince y'all that y'all got to do all this stuff. That's what's funny. That y'all sat here and let a man get in y'all head and fool y'all and convince y'all got to do all this stuff to be saved. Because the God they serve, they ain't how he is. See, let me tell you something. Do y'all go somewhere for what it is on Friday, Saturday? What y'all call that? Shabbat, you said? So Shabbat, is it something y'all can do at home or you have to be in a gathering in a building, assembly, anything? But the God I serve, I could be in a liquor store. He be anyway. See, that's your problem. That is. Didn't Jesus drink liquor? I'm speaking for your friend. So it's so many things that make sense to them when they speak because that's the mind he'll give you. When you set yourself to disagree what this man said and reject what this man said, this man will give you another heart. Just like when you receive what he tells you, he told you, I'll get him a new heart. I'll change that heart to him and give him another heart. I'll change that mind. I'll give them another mind if they'll comply with what I'm telling them to do. But the mind our friends had, I'm good. I'm good. They don't have to hear nothing we saying over him. They already preached the truth. I had a friend of mine years ago. I had a lot of them that came. When I was baptized, I drew a lot of them come. I turn around, want to live right. I just knew they would come on with me because they came with me there. Because they had limits. They had openings. Where I was moving to had some more limits, and they didn't want to take them limits. And one of them told me when it came time to get baptized, a lot of them got baptized. He said he had already been baptized. He said because his mama was pregnant with him when she got baptized. No, he did. He said mama told him that. Yeah, he told me. He said I already been baptized. I said, you were baptized? He said, yeah. He said my mom was pregnant with me. She got baptized. She saying how to be baptized. Yeah. Kind of like Tupac mama. But anyone a bad person, one a drug dealer, one killer, one gang or nothing. But Yahuah look on people and he see something different. Some of us people hold our past over our head and look at, there's no way you could change, not the person you was, what you done. And other people, it just seemed logical for them to change because they had done that much. And for whatever reason, he'll look and say, they ain't who I want. That's not who I want. I want you. Just like Yahusha, he became the stone that the builder rejected. How many of y'all would have been considered a reject because of the things you did out there? That's what he said. He said the stone that they disallowed. He said, I made that the head of the corner. If people couldn't believe it, I'm a preacher today. I ain't gotta believe it, I'm doing it. I don't have to toot no horn about it. I've been doing it for 20, how old are you, 26? 25? I've been doing it going on 26 years in August. I appreciate the Most High. I appreciate him. Wouldn't have thought I've been around that long. Wouldn't have thought I've been able to do it. And because of the Con of Yahuah, and he picked somebody, barely can read, can't speak, don't know nothing. Got just a tad of country, not more than Yashar'AL. Yashar'AL started out laughing, she did, she dig deep to laugh. She don't come straight out, she said, I need to go deep. But just think about it. All of us, he chose. None of us on the street. We just saw each other on the street. All of us walk past. We wouldn't, probably one of us would have started to say, I see you one day walking on the street. You said, I don't even remember. I don't remember. Yeah, you look right at me. You're like, nope. I probably was looking that way, but you weren't even on my mind. It take him to assemble people, put them together. If it was up there, we went and got a whole bunch of our friends who turned around and gone from us anyway. He picked some people who weren't even friends with us. He picked some people we wouldn't have thought twice about, sin or whatever. Don't even favor the eye the way you favor. However we pick people pick people sometimes by favoring the eye or what they can do. Walking down the street, we want to pick each other. But Yahuah saw fit to put all us in one place. One Malakym to hear one word to consider. And when the word comes, the thing about every one of us here is something that comes through the bar for each and every one of us to consider for ourselves. That one word reaches all of us differently because all of us in different places, but we people that looking at, I want to get this right. I messed up a lot. I got to get this right. The fact that he could find that many people and assemble, not just here though, but that said, I got to get this right. I can't keep going. I don't know how things don't trouble people. I fought a long time, just over time. Just things weren't as serious because things would kind of get better and I would keep, when I say better, I kind of gone back to where I was. That's better for me at the time, how you register. But then it kind of come back around. I wasn't connecting the dots because they were too far apart. So then, like they said, it's short of just between 2 points of my stuff was like this. So connecting the dots weren't there for me. Till he started making it where stuff was coming back around too fast. You know what I'm saying? I ain't had the breaks I used to have, the way I said, there's no reason to connect this situation with that situation. That don't make sense. So you start shortening the gap between them and say, you got this situation, then you got that situation, and this situation, and this situation, this situation. What we're gonna do about that? So everything start crumbling, start realizing, I ain't gonna be able to get out of this one. I ain't gonna be able to, time ain't gonna just pass this one over. Nothing gonna fix this. Nothing gonna fix this until I have to just get it right. And it has to happen like that. I know I talked to y'all about it, before about what motivated me, what pushed me to make a change. But it had to start closing in on you. It does. When you got room and gap and too much play, you can only go so far. Honestly, you can only go so far because you never really seen things be really critical. But then that could probably be because I'm looking at everything I dealt with, and to me, that was major and critical. Okay. But for a person who hadn't done what I've done, to me, it would seem it wouldn't be critical and major, but it would be for them because it's your life. It's your life. You don't have to sell drugs to be, you would think you have to, like, for me, I never really looked at my life. I heard people who changed and all that time, their life would always be something horrific and they came back from it. They was on their deathbed and tubes hooked up and they ain't know that. So I'm looking at, I ain't never had no tubes hooked in me like that. So I guess it ain't gonna be for me. You know what I'm saying? Some miraculous car roll over. I ain't say nothing, but I'm saying it myself. Then it will be, they don't know how they got out. It's like one girl knew, she said, well, she had one, she did flip, kill, she hit the white man, hit him, and they had to cut his legs off to get him out of the car. And she said a white man came, she was out. She said a white man came and pulled her out of the car. Nobody remember the white man or seeing him, who this person was. She said she just remembered him in his face, and he just got and just pulled out of the car. And she started looking, changing her life because she had to go to jail. But I looked at, well, ain't nothing like that happened to me. So you keep wondering, what's your situation, or what it gonna, oh really? I wouldn't even worry about, I wouldn't even think what myself. I didn't know, and I knew one thing, I definitely didn't want no tubes in me. So he told me, Tony, it's time. I said, okay, we gotta do the tube thing. I said, well, we're gonna hold off, because I ain't good with them tubes and that beep, beep, beep noise. I be thinking about clumsy niggas like Ed. I told Ed, I said, you ain't coming no hopper. I watched that man walk, I said, Ed, walk around the room. Ed ran into that stand. Oh no, listen, broad daylight now, he run, he said, boom, off, bro, give him. I said, this broad daylight, you just, I said, if I ever get on life support, let that nigga stand outside the room and look in the door. I said, don't let him in that room. He gonna kick the plug out the wall. All the tape you put in there ain't gonna stop Ed. So I just knew what I didn't want to do. I didn't want to suffer. I definitely want to lose my mama. Cause like people look at, I don't want that critical. Let something change me without something drastic happening. You know what I'm saying? You start looking, these were options that I had that he never agreed on. And then you had to succumb to realize that's why you stay where you at. I think for several of y'all, you kind of stay where you at because you really hadn't took no losses. What happened with taking loss? When I'm saying taking loss, when people start to get out of your life and decisions because of things, of the way, it really puts you in a place where you have to really sit down and consider, I'm serious about this. If I have to lose you and be without, it'll hurt me. But it'll hurt me worse if I gotta burn. I'm serious. Listen, I said this. You're gonna have to lose something. And that's the thing about it with him. You don't know what it is, you don't know when. You don't get to pick. You don't get to go through your closet and pick a shirt and lay it across the bed and he come get it. I don't want this shirt. Well, you want them shoes? You can have them. I don't care about them joints. I don't want them joints. I want something that's near and dear to your heart. Because you know why? Think about it. I gave you something that was near and dear to my heart. So what I'm gonna do with your joy? What I'm gonna do with that shirt? I gave you my only begotten. So if I take something from you, all we're trying to do is solidify the relationship. When you go and tell how I gave, you'll know for yourself, you put something up too. So we got to put something up against this whole thing. Shaul taught about how he was not ashamed. He was persuaded that he was able to keep that which he committed against that union. Shaul committed something against that day. And you have to be willing to commit something too. This is a committed relationship. And you know what we do? We kind of in and out. We kind of in and out of it. And it take maturity time. It take losses, hurts, hates, dislikes, where people do it to you or you have them for things to get you to a state of realizing where you really at. And really made it solidify the relationship that I ain't going nowhere. They come down to it, listen, it ain't an option. Only option I got other than this is burning. I mean, any person with a little bit of, with a bird brain realize that don't make sense. Well, you got an option, you can go and burn. I don't have no option. If burning an option, I don't have no option. Right. So that's why I'm here. I'm telling y'all the truth. I don't have no other option. They talking about no plan B and his plan B is to make sure plan A work. I don't have no option. I'm just saying people don't realize, I don't have no options. The other option is I have to burn forever and ever. The problem is that's without end. You ever had a problem that you had to deal with a long time? What you do when you got to burn forever and ever? I just don't have no other option. That's why I'm here. People would like to see me go and fall, whatever it is, but I just don't have no options. And because I don't have no options, that puts the precedence on making sure I get this right. Whatever I got to do to make sure I understand and make sure I get it, Make sure I comprehend it. Because, you know, there'll be time, people say, when you read something you don't get, just pray on it. And you go ahead and pray on it if you want to, and you still ain't got it. Because that's the case, all you do is just keep praying, and man, give you the whole Bible. It don't work like that. Sometime over time, some things are, you know, you'll mature into some things or some understanding some things or something to click by scripture writing. And that makes sense now. But that's all in his time. That's all in his time. People want to know a whole lot of stuff. I know people saying, hey, can you explain this and explain? Man, no. I'm gonna give him, I'm gonna do what I do, I'm gonna keep going at the best you're gonna get. Yeah, because people want you to go through everything they want you to know. It ain't gonna work like that. You're gonna sit down and you're gonna just learn to be taught. I don't have that time. I'm not interested. I just found out how Instagram, I ain't know people can send you a direct message. Well, I just found out somebody saying, well, I don't know how long it was. I ain't been finding. Please don't send me nothing on Instagram. You will be wasting time. The time it take me to get, I don't even know how to think. I get on now, I see Bostic. That's about it. And my cousin, Crazy Tony. Yeah, both of us crazy. But other than that, I don't know how that stuff be where I don't know. I'd be like, man, I don't know how this stuff works. You can't get nowhere. You can't really type now. Can't you just send something? You can't type unless you sending something. I don't know. It just don't make no sense. This is the most confusing thing I ever seen. For some reason, folk make a living off of it. And there's some folk doing a whole lot of stuff on them. I said, man, you just strolled out here? I said, I can't watch this stuff. There's too many stupid people in the world. They ain't got nothing else to do. I'm like, this what you doing with your life? Man, this stuff you could be out here doing. You could be doing something with yourself, but they make a life out of getting people to stop what they're doing. Because you think about it, those people that's doing something on there, you ain't doing them when you watch them. Right. That's why I don't have time. I just ain't got time. So Tip, I'm gonna be doing something. If I sit down right here in that chair and go to sleep, I'm doing something. Please don't come at me what I'm doing. People, you know something? I told y'all, if I ain't doing something, I'm doing something. Always, because I'm thinking. My mind is constantly turning because it's like, you got to be ready for every scenario, every situation, and then some kind of way you got to balance your own life in it. I appreciate it though, because he allowed me to be able to do it. But having said all that, we'll move forward. I just wanted us to consider that young girl really struck me when I saw that, and just to, you know, it's like you can feel people tragedy. It's like I could almost feel where she's at. I'm sure she want to die. I'm sure she want to die. She's a 14-year-old kid. She's gonna be taken away from everything she loves, and she'll never see it the same again. When she see her mom or whoever living, it'll be on the other side of some ball. If they let them see him, I don't know what they do in Guyana. But it'll never be a relationship. It'll never be what it was. She had a relationship with a grown man. And I, you know, allow that bastard burn. He needed every day she get, he need. Because he took that from her. He falsified a relationship with her. A grown man can't have a relationship with a child. That's right. It's impossible. It's impossible for me to look at a baby, a 12-year-old, 13, and see relationship. It can't happen. That's right. There's no way possible. It's a love, it's a care, what goes in a relationship. You can't have that with a child. A young girl can fool herself if she wants to. Sweetie, you'll never have a relationship with a grown man. You have a sick, pathetic situation. You don't have a relationship. Grown men don't sleep with kids. Right. There is no grown man that's ever slept with a child. They can tell themselves what they want to. You have a man with a childlike mind who is sick and pathetic that he would have sex with a child. That's all you have. He's sick. No grown person has sex with a child. Impossible. And probably no grown woman will have sex with no child. You got somebody sick. They sick, pathetic. And people need to know that. Need to put a difference. Grown people don't do that. Now I got it. Grown people, ain't a grown man looking at old baby and said, man, they ain't be my little lady right here. He grown. He couldn't do it. It's not practical. It's not like his mind came from, how I got a 6-month-old baby. How you getting around? I got to carry you and change your diaper? A 3-year-old, what? How? Why? How does this make sense? It can't even process. Your mind should be able to process that it is logical. And there's not a strong conviction to make you say, I kill myself for this. No way. No way. Nobody grown. Nobody grown. You're sick. No, you don't need no help. You need electric chair. Because we need to put it, and people need to know it need to be a difference. Right. It need to be boundary. That man wrecked that girl's life. That girl looked at that relationship was gonna come up and gonna be unstrong. It'd have made more sense if he'd have did it. Because he would have looked at, she wouldn't have gotten in no trouble. She the kid, she the victim. The fact that she took it and she was willing to cover and hide it, then you have to look at what did he tell her. So I see other hands involved. I don't see her doing it by herself. I see him telling her, man, you ain't gonna be together if they get out. What me and you do, this right here will be over with if they got out. And she looked at, she didn't want it to end. See, he was able to manipulate her mind to get her to that processing, or she'll burn that place down to do it because she had to hide it. And I'm sure because his influence, she'd have never got in trouble for it. He would have. And the fact he didn't do it and she did it, and she was that adamant to do it, tell me there was some other outside influences. Yeah. It don't take long to pick up stuff. Makes no sense. 14-year-old with a process killing all of them for that phone. And this get out, it'll be over. And not unless he told her something. He had to convince her of something. And that bastard need every day double. For every one day she do, he need double. That's right. Rest of her life, he need double of his life. When he die, put him right back in the cell. Take him out and lock him back up when he die. Make that bastard a pinata. Let him come in there, hang him up, let folks take bats and beat him. We got to stop it. Our kids deserve better. All over the globe, I don't know what's this fad of everybody raping these kids. I just don't get this stuff. I don't get all this child sex stuff. It just blows me away. I mean, you got willing participant of women that'll have sex with you. Man, the man gave you crack rocks. A crack rock, a $5 crack rock, get a nigga laid for a week. And you need to rape a woman and a kid? Crystal meth, prostitutes, Netflix. I mean, these folk got all kind of stuff these folk give them, Big Macs, Olive Garden. These folks are hopeful almost anything. You actually got to rape a woman and sleep with a child? It's impossible. It's impossible. It's way too many avenues I have for fools like that. Willing participant. You know, prostitute in the holler no rape. Unless you don't pay. They had one sap. Ain't that right? They'll call Jerry Springer. They'll call down a report to tell you the check didn't clear. Y'all remember that Jerry Springer? He used to be the mayor of Cincinnati. Got paid for a prostitute with a check and the check bounced. He reported it. You can't be, I'm talking about you just a dummy. You talking about a check with my name, I'm the mayor? I'm going to give you a check. What? But see, you know, he showed you ain't clever. When you mess around, you just stupid. Just dumb. One sap, he already messed up one of them hoes. Went right out there, got him one, got here, got out there on ESPN or something, and he got to get $100 lead. They get like, oh, no, you ain't, nigga. This more than $100. Put out the ring, he got fired, lost that little career. That's stupid stuff. What you told you gonna pay it? Why do you gotta get this involved with stupid stuff? Do you know how many women will sleep with a man that got prestige? He would have to pay a dime, and you can't pay a simple $300. You're an ex-NFL football player and a commentator. $300 gonna put you out. And then you lost your career. You know you done lost your commentator. You gotta do dumb stuff. We need a class on how not to do dumb stuff. Which I need a bat when I teach it. Isn't that right? Hit him in the head. Why you hit me? Because you him, because you done did some dumb stuff. I know it. So we got to start him first. Then we'll grow from there. How many of y'all gonna try to come? But I ain't got no letter to read. I know you. All right, come on. This is Mashyach. This is the program we're using. For those following along, Romans 15 and 4. Well, we use this every time. I couldn't tell you that. Just follow along with us. We'll keep it as real and honest. And we'll go through it, no pretense, and we make sure we look at this thing for what it's worth. How about that? All right, listen.
Or whatever, Nikatah before. Nikatah to learn.
See that? It was given to teach us, to show us and instruct us.
So that through endurance and through the cocoon of the capability, we might have peace.
Good. That's a good thing. So let's look at something. I'm sorry. The 9th chapter, the book of Romans chapter 9, I think is what I want. Let's see that 9 and 1. Nothing new. Song we heard. Romans 9 Actually, I want one, but that's fine. We down. Let's see where this go. Listen.
I am telling you, be a mind in the Mashyach.
And what you do?
I am not bizarre.
So I'm not telling a lie.
My conscience testifies with me in the Ruach HaKodesh.
See that? See, that's what people don't realize, that conscience, a conscience, basically, we'll look up conscience so you can kind of understand why. Your conscience is kind of what we look at conviction. And that's based upon, I guess, tutelage in a sense, how you reared. Because the way you reared is kind of is a determining factor of what you judge, how you judge things as far as whether it's right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? It is. How you reared it is kind of, it's something you say, oh, well, we never did that. Growing up, so that played a part of it. So as an adult, you look at certain things you don't do because you did do, because it kind of set a precedence for you. So to do it, it puts a conviction. So now when Shaul is speaking to us, he's telling us about how he's speaking the Amat, and he's not Kazab and and he's saying he has a record to bear. He has something that's evident, the fact that he's saying my conscience is not convicting me. You know what I'm saying? Like if I got her phone and she's sitting around and she's looking for her phone, she's trying to find out. And I'm saying here, everybody's saying I ain't got it. I'm saying hey, me either. I don't have a conviction about it. I know I did and I took it, but it don't bother me because that's the type of person I am. But for him, he looked at, for me, my inner self knows when I'm not doing something right. Just like us, we know, even though there were things we might not know about the law, there were things we knew were wrong. Come on, we had to get the book before we found out everything we were doing wrong, because there was some conviction. How much it was something we did was wrong, you felt bad about it when you done it. But even though we might have kept going, so we had that persuasion, it just wasn't being fed enough, or it didn't have enough influence to get us not to do it. Like the things now I wouldn't do, I didn't have that persuasion. The influence wasn't strong enough. Got it? No doubt, like with Yahuah, when it came down in the garden, who they call Eve. I don't know how she get Yahuah, life giver, Eve, Massyach. I don't know how to put it anyway. I didn't make the stuff. So it's, you know, her conscience wasn't strong enough to convict her not to eat it. And it wasn't being fed enough to be influenced to where the decision was not there. You know what I'm saying? When somebody comes and say, hey, let's go do it. No, because the influence of the person that's trying to get you to do wrong has a bigger impact on you than your own self-consciousness of, I shouldn't do this. It's not right. This can come back up later. So that's why people are trying to come in and persuade you when you, well, let's look at this. That's why when he separated us, he put us together, because you need to be with other people that's being fed to the same influence. So just in case I do get weak, you find out, you say, come on, you finna throw everything away and do that? And you can say that based on, I know where you at. You're gonna be working backwards at that point. And what if he don't give you that opportunity to recover? So versus somebody saying, the God I serve, we all make mistakes. I mean, you breathing right now, you sinning now. See, the sinners will get you, they'll get you, and it'll sound, look, when they give it to you, that logic is there, it makes sense. Especially when that man told me, he said, man, listen, when you breathe, you're sinning. So I'm like, think about it, if every time I'm breathing, I'm sinning in and out, so what am I trying to keep from doing something wrong? I'm already doing wrong by breathing. That's scary, that people will practice on how to convince you to turn away from your steadfastness. They actually practice it, they work this. This is what people do to get you to fall. So you got to do everything to build yourself up by being with other people like-minded. You know, I don't, people talk, that stuff don't move me. I'm telling you, it'd be a waste of time. Crack, internet stuff, a woman. I said, listen, lady, all you finna do is get you 2 minutes of fun. And that's all you're gonna do. We have, that's all you ain't getting that. And after that, I gotta go. And then we're gonna burn. It ain't worth it. No, I'm not interested. I don't care what you built like, what you throw like, you ain't spread no toe, all that. I'm putting my shoes on and leave. And we know I'm not interested. Cause I gotta look at the latter end. I gotta look at the latter end. You can think, no man, oh, no, no, listen, you human, stuff can come and try you, but you better consider the latter end. Oh. That's all you gotta do. You can go ahead and get it out. It'll be the best time you ever had. But that worst time when you sit down there in Sheol though, that don't think that good time, That burn time too long. It ain't worth it. You just do the math. It's like, this ain't even conscious. It don't even make sense. It's just too much after effect. If it's like, he gonna say, let's get it on. Set your clock. Ain't that right? Otherwise, it don't even make sense. Because you gotta consider, you gotta pay for this stuff. Yep. At the end of the day, that's not, just think about it. I gotta pay for the delay. Is it worth it? Is it worth, if you go for 2 hours, 6, 10 hours, how long you gonna burn? It'd be different if minute for minute, second for second. The math don't add up. Do something one time, burn forever. Do something one time, burn. You're like, man, the math off. How I do something for 5 minutes or an hour and I gotta burn for the rest of my life? He said, that's how we pay. You do something wrong, you burn forever. You say, anything? Anything. Yeah, guess I'm gonna just live straight then. Keep it right. That's just being honest, you got to. Conscience, which is your decision, right and wrong, it said an inner feeling of voice, viewed as acting as a guide to the rightness or wrongness of one's behavior. That's why he said it bad in record. He said, I know it's not. Now, you know what you can say, well, that case, I just use my conscience. I wouldn't. See, now we got to look at what's imputed in your conscience. What's accounted? You know what I'm saying? What we input. See, if the right information, think about it. How many we did some stuff wrong and there was no conviction? So we're going to use our conscience? Everything I did wrong, I ain't had no conviction. There was something I did like, it bad. You know what I'm saying? It was wrong. There was something you look at, I did it wrong, but it didn't bother me one time. So are we going to use our conscience? We're looking at his conscience because of the fact he was turned. This man has a repertoire of things he's done, how he received it, where he was taught at, how he was reared, growing up at the feet of. So he's looking at my conscience, I'm paralleling with the Torah. Y'all got it. That man told, he said, man, I was circumcised the 8th day. I'm from the Matar Binyamin. He said, I got the, listen, he said, I grew up at the feet of Gamaliel. Gamaliel was a teacher of the law. He said, listen, the man said, I'm the son of a Pharisee, of what they call a Pharisee. He said, my daddy was one. He said, concerning the law, blameless. He said, I'm blameless. He said, that's all I know. So when he look at his conscience, he's looking at the fact the law, I don't find law conviction when I'm speaking. So that's why I said my conscience is bearing me witness. Like a lot of times, you can win yourself, know whether something is right. But that's going to be based upon the input of the word, because you're constantly getting the word. So now you got things, now you want to start to ask questions about things. I just want to know about this. I just want to make sure something. Can I ask you about something I was looking to do? Because you're just trying to make sure that your conscience in line with and what you're getting ready to do don't put you in conviction. And now you got to come back and got to repent. Now you got to do all this stuff. How about I check before I do? These are growth signs. Because in time past, what we do it and find out later. If it's wrong, God will reveal it. And we said, but it can come up, Yahuah reveal it, and it be in the Mashyach. And it can be looking right. Like I said, there is a way that seem right to an each, but the end thereof. So what you think the purpose of telling you that for? What the purpose of telling you that? On leading your own understanding. All of that's right. So now I really got to be careful, because you can say, well, you know what? I don't feel nothing wrong. It's right. He said, but there's a way that seemed right. So now I got to go and validate it with the book. That's why we got the Sefer, which is the scroll, the books, the writing. So now you can compare it against something. Because if you're just comparing off of, well, I mean, I ain't feel nothing. Nigga, you could be paralyzed from the neck down. Your name could be Spiritual Christopher, what boy, Christopher Reed. Spiritual, you're a straw blower. Tell me, I don't feel nothing. You might be paralyzed. So please don't use that. But when we look at what we've been taught, when we look at the word for what it is and take it at face value, then we start to compare. That's why we find out where I convict. That's why we find out where we're wrong at. Going back to the Torah allows us to see, I was wrong about this. I need to make some adjustments, some changes. Or if it lets me know I'm on the path. So that's why it's only doing one or two things. It lets us know what we were wrong about, or letting us know whether we're on the path. So if it lets us know if we're wrong, then we know to get on the path. If we find out we're on the path, we know to do what? Stay there. That's so, I mean, it's only come to do one or two things, right? Okay, so we understand that conscience. So he's saying his inner feeling or voice viewed it acting as his guide. He was using it, the inner feeling acting as a guide to the righteousness, Sadiq, of behavior. So that's why he says telling the truth, and he's not kazabing. His conscience also bearing him witness. Come on back over, 9th chapter. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I tell you, I am not God. My conscience testifies with you before I die.
Yeah.
For grace is my song, and there is no end to the grief of my Lord.
Mm-hmm.
For who shall give, for who shall give that I were encouraged from the Mashyach for the sake of my kingdom, my kinsmen according to the song.
I read different than James. For who shall I give that I were a curse? That's probably the way they just write so bad. Okay. Just the way they write sometimes, we put it together. I know they're trying to speak in an older form in a sense, newer testament, newer writing, and they kind of confuse you on this stuff anyway. But who shall I give that I were a curse from the Mashyach? So he's talking about giving himself, that he would be a curse for the sake of my Akim, my brethren, my kinsmen. Kinsman is a male relative, according to the Pasah. Okay? You look at people that he was related to. Now, people look at, now you were told about this. What if you should see the Ben Ish ascend up where he was before? It is the Ruach that does what? Which is what? Make a lie. The Basar, the man just said he would give himself for the flesh. He said the flesh profited nothing. Shaul just said that he would make himself a curse for his Akim. Then he told you my kinsmen, which are male relatives. And then he told you according to that's how I'm connected to them. And that's not too far off because you got to look at Yahushua. He gave himself too for our flesh. Anybody know why? Hands. No answer. Let me ask you a question. Do you have your hand raised because you feel like somebody need to throw an answer out of him because nobody, that is a bad answer and put your hand down? I figured then. You could be right. No, let me ask you a question. You could be right or you have an answer that can justify and that can connect the dots on why. Tell me why. Because? Yes. Okay, that's not bad, but that ain't what I want. That's not what I wanted. He talked about when it came down to redeeming a man, it could be their uncle, their brother, near kinsman, and that's good too. Well, let's look at something. And look at, he said, my kinsman was my male relative according to what? The flesh. Let's see some. Second, Beth Malakym, I think I want. See if it's 23 and 1. Let's see, might be 22. Said I want Beth. Let me say second, verse 23, might be verse. Beth, man, Alaph. Let me see the next verse. No. Let me see 22. Might be, let me see Alaph. Alaph. Alaph first, they call it first king. Yeah. Alaph 22 and 1. What I said, 23. They call it First Kings, Malakym, emperors, 22 and 1. Let's see. Listen.
3 Shanaim passed without war between Abarym and Yashar'AL.
All right.
And it came to pass in the 3rd Shana, Yahusha, Malak, the Malak of Yahuah came down to the Malak of Yashar'AL.
Mm-hmm.
Now the Malak of Yashar'AL said unto Abarym, do you know that Ramah Gilead is ours,
Mm-hmm.
and we have been quiet,
Still.
and not taken out of the hand of the Malak of Abarym?
Mm-hmm.
He says to the Yahusha, shall you go with me to battle at Ramah Gilead?
And he did what?
Shall you go?
No. What did he do?
He said to the Yahusha,
Jehoshaphat. Is he talking to himself? Who is he talking to?
Yahusha,
And who is he?
Malak of Yashar'AL.
Go ahead.
Shall you go with me to battle at Ramah Gilead?
And
And Yahusha says to the Malak of Yashar'AL,
who are you?
I am as you are,
My what?
my all as your all,
And
my horses as your horses.
so that would make sense, wouldn't it? How many of y'all don't understand that? So everybody don't, you don't. He was saying they were the same flesh. If you were going, of course I was going, we the same flesh. Yahudah and Yashar'AL, they're the same flesh. They all come from under Yashar'AL. Why would it be any different? The man that taught it to our best would have been Adam. When he brought Ka'ur to his side, he said, this is the bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. That's what he told him. He said, this is the same bone. He took the bone out of him to make him. He took the man, he took the real from the man, then he formed him. That's why he said, it's bone of my bone. It's the same flesh. So when he was speaking, he wanted speaking what they knew. This was bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. That's why Shaul came through talking to us about the carnal part. He said, well, I would that I was a curse. For who? For everybody. No, to the people I related to, according to the flesh. Because it's the same bone. It's the same flesh. Yeah. See, this is where we mess up. When you take the writer's only given to one people.
Yes, sir.
We don't have a book that's called Book of Gentiles.
No, sir.
A book of Guineas.
No.
We don't have it. We were considered to be a nation. There were 2 nations, Yashar'AL, Yahudah, and the 2, just like with Adam and Ka'ur, were going to be one. So when you look at him talking about going back, see, and the reason why I quoted in 6 and 63, when he said, what if you should see the Ben of Ish ascend up where he was before, it's the Ruach that quickened it. He said the flesh profited nothing. So the boy speaking to you, they are Ruach and they are Kai. Like, see, I quoted because, see, when you got another intent, you'll take that and say Shaul sin. Because he was trying to die for the flesh. See, we fighting for the spirit. See, you don't be careful. Your mind will send you off somewhere because you can know just enough to be stupid. But see, all it took for me to just go back and show you how to connect. I'm reading along with y'all. So we read it. He said he was going to put himself, he was a curse. He made sure you understood. He said, according to the flesh. But the only way it makes sense is to understand he's only quoting what we knew. That when Adam and Ka'ur, when he brought her right back to his side, these are 2 individuals. Am I correct? He said the 2 is one. So the only reason he was looking at the cursing himself, because we're the same. We're the same. So I'm only doing it for them because we connect. That's amazing. You were giving Yahushua. You didn't believe what he would call. We knew him at Ben. When they told us at Crit, they said the Son of Man. So they were trying to show the connection to man. So it made sense because we need to know, even though they told us the Son of Man, because Adam would actually mean man, Ish, so they gave you man. So with that being done, he was trying to show the connection that he belongs to you. He told us unto who?
You. Mm-hmm.
What woman?
Me.
Was going to be under us, under you, a son was going to be given. Because he's trying to bring back the connection. If there's no connection, then there's no relation. Sock and a hat. What's the connection? Well, if I'm going about that, really none. They go in 2 different places. See what I'm saying? I mean, so it's like, so for it to make sense, you know, I mean, it had to correlate that we got the gist of it. And I'm telling you, he's your son. Everybody said, this your son. So what kind of care should you have for him? This is yours. Hello? He was taking him from, we took him from him. And he gave it to us. Hello? He told us how to do it. He'll take from one and give to another. He took him and gave him to us. Can y'all believe that? Hello? Y'all don't know what happened, do y'all? When he sat down the two. All she did was the same thing when it happened with the court case with Shalom. She rather for us to have him than to cut him into two parts. I'd rather y'all take him than for y'all to just cut him into two. Because that would the conversation was when it came to Shalom. When she came, the two women came and it was debated about two women debating about one child. And Yahuah just looked at, I'd rather y'all have him than to cut him in half. Because remember, he was gonna be split. Because it said the Malakym Yahuah, then they say he be the Malakym Yashar'AL. We were gonna have to split him. We were gonna have to, but I'd rather give him to you. Yeah, I'd rather you have him than to sit here and to split the man in two. Y'all got it? And then he made sure, so the two can be one. See, that's why I said, you have to be honest, you gotta be genuine. You really gotta be seeking salvation. A lot of people not. They're just seeking a bunch of words. They're looking at a lot of vocabulary, they're looking at a lot of enunciation, they're looking for those dot points and the cool vowels. I mean, you had to use them now to try to configure how things are enunciated, and they use them. And then a lot of it's the tongue. A lot of the tongue. You can, it's certain words that are properly spoken, you couldn't do it because of your tongue. They just won't let you enunciate it correctly because of your tongue. And people say that because they tell you got a fat tongue. They'll tell you certain words you can say, yes, you got one of them fat tongue. You ever heard that before? Come on, Rod. You from the country. You ever heard that before, Christian? Think about your answer. Come on. You ever heard it? Hold on. You ever heard that before? You got a fat tongue. You all right, Lee. I got enough. Come on, y'all. Come on. Who going first? Ross, I got shoot. He ain't coming with this stuff. Rod, you been doing good, don't you, Rod? Rod, how you been doing good? Yeah. But you sometimes you can be too good, don't you? I'm about to say that. Man, you got a smooth walk when you come with that thing. But I still know how to do it. You know. Y'all ain't never heard that before, for real? No. Who ever heard that before? Look at all these folk behind y'all. Look at all these folk behind y'all. What am I got to check them for? Them folk like, if I ain't heard, you know what they saying right now? Preacher just said, I heard it. But no, that's what they used to say. You ever heard, how many of y'all heard the honest of the series? Yeah, that's what they would say. When there's certain things you couldn't enunciate, they say you got a fat tongue. So certain words you couldn't enunciate properly because of the tongue. Y'all know that? That's just being honest. So, I mean, it just come to be that way. When it come down to our language, there's so many things dispel because you got to look at, you got people trying to put a discipline on a language that's not theirs. Your discipline don't make sense. Like using vowels, it don't make sense with us because they don't know what it is. They just knew the sounding of it. You know what I'm saying? They knew what was used and different things. Well, these people came and gave them a lot of this stuff and talking about what, because of disciplines of English, you try to stick them on them. They don't understand what you're using and they never would have understood it. So it's a lot of things that people put on us. It's nowhere in the world. So it's a lot of argument. English looks at a discipline of vowels that they, not their own, they take them from somebody else and put into their, and more or less kind of put into their speech. Our people wouldn't know nothing about no A-E-I-O-U and sometimes why. We would know absolutely nothing what you're talking about. None of them wouldn't make sense. This is an English discipline that makes absolutely no sense. And America has fooled everybody to look like they're smarter. They ain't smarter than no chinks. They run circles around. There's nowhere in the world they're smart no chink. It's just not possible. They make cheap stuff, but you're not smart. And you definitely ain't smart no Germans. Don't even try to put in your mind. They're going to beat you out every time. But America fools everybody. For whatever reason, people would dumb themselves down to come to America to get one of these little fake degrees. Some of you can get out of joke store. I'm just saying, people from Akiba, they'll come here to get a joke store a lot smarter. Their disciplines make better sense of what they do. I mean, the things they do just make sense. But this non-making sense stuff is everybody want to do it, though. Everybody want to be American. Everybody want to look American, ride American, live American. Worst thing you ever seen in your life. Going to Target store and get raped, buy a tuck in, man, penis tuck. Make no sense. I don't know why nobody be setting no stuff. I don't know why a man had, what you trying to tuck the thing for?
Right.
Make no sense. Like, are you serious? People sick, man. Just sick. The people made it sick. That's just how it got about sick old man. But anyway, it just, and for whatever reason, people just love this way. So we got a lot of work we got to do. So in saying that, we go through, we read these things, it's a lot of things we hadn't understood. So I appreciate the fact that he leaves us information that we can go back so we can correlate it to make sense. Otherwise, it's easy to take, let's go back to, we had the 9th chapter of the book of Romans. For who shall give that I will curse from the Mashyach for the sake of my king brother, my kinsman, according to, and we've been taught everything I've just been teaching is about breaking away from the flesh. Isn't that right? About the destruction of the flesh. And now this man coming on talking about killing himself for the flesh. We're trying to show a correlation because you still come back dealing with a people. That's our people. And the only way to get them to understand it, you got to be one of us. Let's see. See if that's Acts of the Shaphatym 23:1. I'm just curious. Let me see what that's saying. They call it impossible. It's impossible to be saved with that foolishness that people gave them. Ooh, that's a big old young Justin. I know, okay, you were wide open then. I didn't know you had your tongues taken out. I seen all that. I seen the griddle down her throat. I said, what? She said, either she was young, she was going to bite Shamel in the back of the neck. And one of the two, I don't know. But I'm gonna try whatever you say it is. Yeah. That's like she all right. She at home. All right, listen.
Shaul, looking intently at the council, said, Anashim and Akim, I have halak in the completion of my law before Alahym up to this yom.
So look at here. He said, in the completion, listen, of my law, because in here is where the conviction come from. Right back again, talking about his conviction. See, think about it. That's what he kept trying to get us to. He talked about how when we turn back to him, he's talking about law. He was talking about the inner part of us. There's a conviction of right and wrong on the inside of us. No. People just don't, you ignore it. If it ain't being fed, why do you think a person get a gun, just get them and shoot everybody and then sit down and eat? No conviction. Think about the type of people they feed. Think of the kind of people they eat with, the people they socialize with. A lot of things people don't realize, it's association. Just like they look at project, look at the behavior of project, what happened? Because it's a behavior that's there, it's a mindset of the people. And it filters down on other people. What a lot of people do, parents try to get them out. So they can change the mindset. They can get them away from, so you can see what separation, but dog actually does work on some cases. Some people is still embedded. They start to put them in different schools. Let's move them to a different school that might be predominantly white. And you'll watch the change of behavior. You'll watch the scores might go up as far as, in education or whatever they do, because you put them around people that's minded to do something different. But when you stay in that same contrast of people that go contrary negative, what you think happened to you? So now this man started talking about, I have with all good intent walked before Alahym with conviction in my law, because I take the word to measure behavior to see whether or not it fits. Y'all got it? Let's see what happened. Before Alahym up to what?
This yom.
See, he said all the way up to now. What happened?
The Rosh Kahan, Kananya.
Oh, 23. Go back, 21. Make it 21-1. That's good too. He was speaking because he knew where he was going then. He said, I'm about to lose it. See, it's 22. I said 22. That was 23. I read that. 22. Yeah. That was 23-1. We read 22. All right, listen.
My Akim and my Abba pleased Shama and spoke, and I am right before you.
Y'all hear that? My Akim and my brother. Okay? He wanted them to listen to his defense, is what he basically wanted them to do. All right? He wanted them to listen to him. Let's see what happened.
And it came to pass.
What happened?
When they Shama that he spoke to them in the Abarym language,
What happened?
they kept even greater silence.
The tongue caught their attention. Really, they looked at one, don't need to listen to nobody speaking that Spanish. He's speaking the Deutsch. They're like, no, we ain't gonna pay him a whole lot of attention. Let's look at, he's from Rome. What language has he been speaking? That's his native. That's the country he was born in. He was born in Cilicia, and he was from Rome. He was a Roman citizen. What was it? What would have been his common language? But when he spoke to him, and what did they do? Your tongue caught our attention. It caught their attention. Trying to help y'all out now. I'm trying to tell you, the tongue make a difference. And that right, so folk were listening, was speaking in Latin, Spanish, but then when he spoke in Abarym, he said they got real quiet. Because that's their discipline. Hello? Listen, when we got our tour, what y'all think we heard? Latin? Greek? That's what we were hearing. So it only made sense for it to pay attention. The Abba, that's what they heard. Our original language is what we're saying. It's Abarym. Don't let people make no fool out of you. I know we might translate over to English, but he just spoke English, they'd have kept talking. People would listen, but not everybody. But he spoke in Abarym, they kept silent because they knew they disciplined. See, the thing when you translate, people don't believe it, you can lose something. Okay, you lose something. It's an intent. Like English will translate something different for them. It'll be a way they do something. It'll be a total way they do something while they have a word usage to do it. So it gives a broader understanding of it. You know what I'm saying? The way you say, wow, that's interesting. Because it's a way of life for them. English ain't a way of life, it's just something I say. It could be slang or whatever it might be for them. No, this is a way of life for us. You know what I'm saying? From the shim, everything, it has a discipline to it for them. And it makes a difference when you look at it and you might take it from an English standpoint, but you kind of miss the gist of how they saw it. You got to remember, these people had a relationship predicated off of them listening and understanding his speech. Y'all got it? So there's a difference. There's a reason why we've been scattered, we've been put out. But yet he did say he was going to restore. He gonna let us keep speaking English, and Spanish, and German, and Greek. So, but the people are dispersed everywhere, but he's gonna bring them back to a discipline. When the day when those people heard it, nobody heard no Spanish. All those people heard one thing. I ain't talking about no Ukashabur. When Mashyach came down there for her, all the people heard it. They said, you heard, I spoke to you. Man, you know, when Shaul said he appeared to him, he spoke one language. He said, he spoke to me in the Abarym language. The same way when he came and he spoke to them, they heard him speak from Shaphatym. And those people knew that man spake their language. Again, it shows connection. It shows connection. You go somewhere and everybody speaking a foreign language. And you might kind of pick up something. And somebody say, hey, man, you said, man, it's so good to see somebody speak. Man, how did you hear somebody? You be like, you automatically draw to them. It don't mean other color. You like, man, I'm so good to see, man, I'm saying, can you understand this thing? You be like, somewhere, you like, whoo, but I understand you clearly. So it's like a relief when you hear somebody that actually speaks your language, understand, had the discipline. You got it? So same thing for us. Okay? We'll go back over to the 9th chapter of the book of Romans. We're at 3, we're at 4 now. We're talking about the fact, go ahead. Boom. See that? That's why he going back telling you why. These people, he gonna give himself from the flesh because they are gooey and God made everybody. What is that?
They are beneath Yashar'AL.
I don't get why the man went this. Now, this is what they call New Testament. Jesus, and they said, came and died. Why did man talking about just dying instead of dying for the world? Why was that man willing to be accursed and cut off for Yashar'AL and not everybody else? Because the book declared they are not all Yashar'AL. So that show you when the people are sitting here, they don't realize something. You need to understand that this is something I want to be clear on. Alahym has designated that he's going to save some out of all of these Goyim. Make no mistake. This whole thing they're gonna have to be grafted in under Yashar'AL. The man eyes only let him see one. Don't let anybody make no fool out of you. That man gonna gather, everybody had to come up. When they came out of Mizraim, how many other people were known as Gentiles? What tribe were those people that came out that one Yashar'AL? Because guess where they were grafted in at? So how people find it so funny today? Why you didn't hear Yashar'AL every time? You heard mixed multitude one time when they came out. You never heard, I'm Yahuah, your Alahym, that brought out you and the mixed multitude. You ever read that? Why we only hear it one time? Because you ain't gonna believe it. Once you mix something in, that's got it.
Yeah.
Anybody here know how to bake? Like taking flour, maybe putting eggs or something in it? You ever did that before? And sugar or salt? Can you go back and take that salt out? What about the egg? One egg. If you put two, can you take one out? Why not? You ain't gonna believe it. He mixing all of them in. I'm trying to tell you, they were mixed. You couldn't pull it back out. Everybody gonna be under one. So people can put this stuff, they got this fabricated relationship, they got all these black folk. I don't know why, because he got a mixed multitude of people. But he gonna mix them in, everybody gonna be under Yashar'AL. That's that bottom line, how you gonna fall in? Hello?
Yes, sir.
That's the truth. I mean, you ain't gonna believe it. Everybody come from one man. It don't matter how your genealogy go. I guarantee they trade back to Adam. And they're gonna put you back at Alahym. That man had to come back and he gonna reconcile. That meant he gonna come back and reconcile. Y'all know that? A lot of us will split off because of situation. A lot of us will cut off, and that's why it gotta be a redeemer. Because some people being cut off and being cast away is simply because of what? Because of somebody else's effects. And it fell out on us. And now he got to come back and reconcile. Got to make it right. They'll use accounting sometimes. People come back and get your book. You know what they say they'll do with it when they be reconcile your books. That's all they're gonna do. The book you read, he had to reconcile it. There's some stuff that got to be fixed. There's some stuff got to be put back together. It's some things that got to, let's go back and do the numbers. Hello? And they get through it, gonna be right. Hello? I think if we looked at things in that aspect, we'll see again what coin comes in. Because you gotta think about it. For any of us could be anything, because you don't know what y'all. You just know what people tell you. You can be from the region, still not be one. That's just being bottom line, still not be one. Because all the people that were there in that area, everybody, except for Yafat, everybody know what Kush. Everybody was Kush. We didn't find Abarym later after we separated. Everybody was Kush. If you was in the region, what else was you? All the Kush covered more than one end. I don't know why they just sticking on Ethiopian. Everybody was covered on one end. You were color nature in that area, region. Then we started getting separated. Hello? After he had P-leg, ain't that right? That name meant separate. We separated, they built the tower. Look at that, he separated. We could have been right there with them people. He dispersed all those people. He said, all those people that built that, y'all dispersed. But he still kept them a remnant. Hello? Who they call Abba. That's right. In the day when all that stuff happened, he had a son named Peleg. His name means separate. That was his name, to separate. How about, what's the chance you have a son, you look, and you name him Separate, and you see them people doing that, you say, you know what? We need to get away from these people. We need to get away from these people. He separated us. So when he told us, wherefore come out from among them and be, what was it? Oh, we look at Peleg. You need to get away from these people. That's what they did. So everybody who was involved with that tower, he dispersed those people. All those people dispersed. You ain't gonna believe it, but all of them were one people over there first. Everybody kind of fell under the Kush. For the region. Okay. Now we start looking at where we at. So it's a lot of things that happened now. We're trying to come back, we're trying to repair, we're trying to fix. Because now man got us all fighting and everybody at each other and keep going. Then don't forget, we ain't got nothing to do with white people. Because, you know, Noah had 3 sons. And white folk come from Yahuah, so we don't have nothing to do with white people. Don't it make logical sense? That we don't have nothing to do with our brother. And the region they went to. So that changed him from being a new art. They don't want to know where white people come from. There's a lot of people that put a lot of hands in teaching, and they had their own agenda. Some of them cause they hurt, some of them whatever they got going on. But at the end of the day, you could be hurt. Just don't lie to us. Just tell us the truth. Just tell us you don't know to mess us up. Don't tell us something that mess us up. Then don't forget Esau, he white. He was a twin. He white. We coming for you, Esau. The man black. He was just hairy. Yeah. The man was black. Man, I tell you, man, it's crazy. Some of the stuff people tell them. People teach a lot of stuff to mess us up and do a lot of detriment and got everybody divided. We need to clean it up. Because now with it divided, it gave everybody different information. Some people went off to make up their own way. A lot of people just went off and people left, even with us. We got dispersed, scattered from watching other people. But it had to happen that way. See, that way when he go and he throw the net to pull us back, you ain't gonna believe what happened. He gonna pull some of everything in there with it. Because we all scattered out. In order to get us, he gonna have to net us to get us back. And that's what he told you. I'm gonna have to sit down, I'm gonna start picking and throwing things out of him. He gonna net us. That's how he gonna get everybody back down. In the police, they'll tell you sometimes they'll do a sweep. They say, we're gonna set up like a net. When we just grab a bunch of them. And that's what he gonna do. He gonna set a net up and he gonna pull everybody in and bring us right down. We're gonna be at the mosh spot. But we don't get no understanding, we in trouble. So we so busy fighting and hating one another and hating other people, and people cut a bill. We ain't got time to hate nobody.
That's right.
First thing I look at how much mess we got among ourselves.
Yeah.
We really got to fix the problem we got among ourselves. It's bad. It's bad. I tell you about it. I don't see reconcile with nobody until we reconcile with each other. Because we don't fix the problem we got. All we're going to do is mess up a bunch of, and everybody need to fix their problem. And we don't all get to the point of saying what we're doing. We all humans. You ain't going to believe it. Y'all know how people populate on the earth. 2 humans do it. How we get to the point I don't need no woman, the woman don't need no man? Right. Boy, if Adam and Yahuah could have pulled that stuff in the gun. And when it came out, it don't even make logical sense. I don't know how we allowed 2 homosexuals or 500, how they came and they have a conversation with us when you like, all y'all got to do is go lock yourself and y'all 2 guys, bang your brains out, come out with a baby. Come out, that'll shut our mouth. Lock them in now, come out with a baby. Ain't that right? 10, 11 months, yeah, we're going to open the door up. Somebody need to be pregnant. It need to be a baby. Pregnant or baby. We need one other, because a man or woman can do it. That's the end of it. That's how you populate the whole world, through us. And now we done convinced ourselves that we get homosexual kids, still love them, hug us. You can't do it. It's against nature.
Yeah.
We'll die till we go with that. That's how strong will you got to be against it. They say, well, you can't, but it's against everything. Let me tell you something, okay? Everything is set in place for us to destroy ourselves. The fact that these people outpopulate us and they'll convince women now, you're a career woman, you don't need no baby, they're gonna mess up your figure. How you think we're gonna make it? There's no way for us to make it without us being procreating together, man and woman. These homosexuals have outnumbered us. They done took over the police force. I'm talking for the high ranking, they done learned. They put enough of them in key places, they look bigger than us. They ain't no regular cop now. They gonna be lieutenant, captain, major, chief, mayor, governor. They got top position. They in the White House to where we're influencers. We can make law. We can influence law. They don't put themselves in key position. And you need to put yourself in a key position too. It's called slave and dummy. So while we've been fighting and hating each other, they've been outpopulating us. They've been moving. Black and white can be fighting. Listen, all of us extinct. They finna extinct all of us. So our destruction is in our own hands. They had a thing on the news they were talking about today. They said kids are getting married later than older.
Yeah. Yep.
People want to wait till they get older and get settled. You get too old, you can't do nothing with that thing now.
Yep.
Can't even let it hang. They got to cut it off and throw it in the trash. They're not sitting around now 2 units. Yeah, messed up. Folks don't want to. They been here too. They don't want to get married. I don't know what it is. Why they keep going around, man? Please. I had me a bow job. I ain't want one. I ain't want no pickle. I mean, a Bojan. I don't know what they thinking about right here. It's just like now, I don't know. It ain't no big thing. Folks just calm and cool. But I could have got them pills y'all had. I don't know where they sell them, and I don't want them either. Don't put them in my food. I don't know. They went and got them one of them big old 5-pound bags of saltpeter or what in there right here. It's bad, but I don't know. They had some punch they did give it, had some white stuff flowing. They said, don't drink that saltpeter. If you're gonna be here for a few years, you can have my cup. I'm just waiting on my bun. You're gonna be here a few years, you drink all this saltpeter. You need all this. And that'll keep you off another man, but it's bad out here. That's just bad. I don't know what's wrong, man. They done scared people so bad they're married. I mean, y'all ain't got but one other place to go now. Yeah. You keep fighting that marriage, and you got to go on the other side of that fence now. Yeah, that's right. Old Jimmy boy gonna be waiting on you. Jump that gate, you better not jump it backward. You gonna get stuck. I'm trying to help him out. Hey, looking at, man, you ain't never seen so many niggas texting for in your life all of a sudden. Who hitting you on the Shabbat this time or not? Yeah, I'm trying to get the text out right quick for it. I'm trying to text. Look at it. Man, y'all stop letting these folks make no fool out y'all here. Trying to make y'all think this, oh man, how you know it's gonna work? I know what you're doing ain't working. When you can't watch, you got a damp, it ain't working. It ain't working, and you got a damp. You can't even watch it, too sensitive. They gotta just throw the towel, pow, and stop it. It ain't gonna work. Two things you want is a musty squirrel and a stinking pickle. That's the truth. That musty squirrel gotta be clean. And that pickle. And that right, man, woo! That thing came out of sour jaw. You know what I'm saying? You smell pickles, woo! That pickle juice stink. Y'all all right?
It's
They be laughing. I be telling them the truth, though. I be trying to help folks out. Don't let nobody make no fool out of y'all. You folks get y'all here and trying to have y'all all stuck up here and can't do nothing. No, man, get out here, man. I know it ain't gonna fail. No, you get in there, you do your best to make it work. In America, fail, you get in there and you do your part. Don't let nobody make no fool out of you trying to scare everybody's situation different. But you get in, you put your best foot forward, somebody else fail on their end, that's on them. You just make sure you do your part. That's all you can do. That's just being honest. You can't control what nobody else do. You just make sure you're doing yours. You got the right person. You got your mindset, do the right thing. What's the problem? I'm just trying to check. It's been 25 years. And you ain't gonna have nothing but powder. Gonna have that spoon, gotta add water to it. Now you don't want that stuff like no powder milk. Isn't that right? Trying to make a baby with baking soda. Like, man, stop it, man. You put that stuff on cocaine, you trying to cut it, man, or cook it. Man, I said, woman looking for the evidence, it's baking soda. No. You gotta have some active stuff around here going on. I try to put it out there for y'all, help y'all out now. There's some more texting going on there. All y'all do is look, watch how many of them brothers get the text. Yeah, preacher tripping. I ain't me tripping. I ain't tripping. I want y'all happy. I want you to be happy. That's crazy. Well, I don't want the best for you. That's crazy. Come on, pay this up. All right, we talk about whom they are, the benim of Yashar'AL, and to them belongs the adoption of
the need,
and
the food,
and
the career,
and
giving of tools.
See that? He talked about the adoption. And to the is it Mashkan or Makdash? I mean Makdash. What they use for them? No, I know somebody actually it's black, so they just actually put that word there. Okay. Black is just added in now. So the adoption, adoption.
Oh.
Let me say something. See if that's 17, 4, 5, 6, 5. 17, 5, Shaphatym. Somebody already had it? What you were thinking of something? Y'all heard 17. How many have had it? Seriously, y'all been trying to do that for real? How many y'all been trying to figure out where we're going? Ain't nothing wrong with that. What y'all, when I said 17, what was y'all thinking? Somewhere in the New Testament? What you thinking? Torah? He said, why you whisper like that, minister? I said, but what book? Did you have a book or something in mind? He said, I knew. I said, what, Torah? Yeah, you ain't gonna believe it. I knew it too. Shaphatym, 17. Let's see in 5. Let's see how. I don't know. Let me see. Wow. So, and they call it Judges. Mm-hmm. All right, listen.
In the east, Micah had a bed of mighty ones, and he made an ephod and household idols, and he filled up the hand of one of his beneath, that he was to him for a kahan.
You did what now?
He filled up the hand of one of his beneath, that he was to him for a kahan.
Mm-hmm.
And those Yamin, there was no Malach in Yashar'AL.
Mm-hmm.
Every each did what was Sadiq in his own womb.
Mm-hmm.
Now there was a young each from Beth Malakym in Yehuda, of the Mishpachah of Yehuda,
Bethlehem, house of bread. And he was of who?
of the Mishpachah of Yehuda,
And he was from the Mishpachah or the Matah. You said the family, not tribe, Mishpachah. All right.
that he was a Louis, and he was staying there. Then the east departed from the city, from Beth Malakym in Yehuda, to sojourn where he might find a Malkum, as he made his journey.
Mm-hmm.
He came to the heart of Abarym, to the Beth of Micah.
Mm-hmm. Wait a second. Okay.
Micah said to him, where do you come from? And he said to him, I am a Louis from Beth Malakym in Yehuda,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to stay where I may find a Malkum. Micah then said to him, dwell with me and be a Abba and a Kahan to me, and I shall give for the Yamin a suit of clothes and your sustenance.
So let me ask a question. He wanted the man to do what? Stay where?
Dwell with me
And do what?
and be a Abba and a Kahan to me.
What would that make you? What would that make Michael? So he wanted the man to adopt him.
All right.
What was you thinking? You said, oh, yeah. You try to figure out where we're going? No, you fine. But he just told the man to come and dwell with him. And he let the man know he come and dwell with him. You'll be an Abba to me. And that would make him a son. So he basically wanted the man to adopt him. And he could do that simply because of their relationship. See, the same thing with Yashar'AL and with us being adopted by Alahym. You know, typically what you need in when you do adoption, paperwork. That's why we got the tour. They didn't show proof. Sometimes they have you to bring up paperwork. If you say that's your child, it's not biological, you need to produce paperwork. That's what we got right here. Paperwork to show how. What's the connection? See, and guess he said for him to be an Abba, what he want him to do? Dwell. That's right. Dwell with them. That's amazing. Hold you guys. Say that in the book of Abarym. They call it Hebrews. Abarym. Eight and 5. Let's see. Listen.
Who serve a copy and shadow and the things that are in the Shamayim.
What we relate to the copy?
The Malach.
The Malach. What about the Malach? So how accurate was his copy?
Who's God?
The Malak.
Very accurate,
You said what?
very accurate.
Why?
It was copied out.
Same exact thing. That's what talking about it. Who served as a copy. So when the Malak had one, he didn't have an original. He had a copy. Because he was told he had to copy him out one. But his copy was the same as the exact. Y'all got it? So he told you it served as a copy. So it served as the exact. See, a lot of things we're trying to parallel so you understand. I know you know what copy means. You know what I'm saying? You know, fool, but let's go with relation, how they knew it. Every Malak had to copy him one out. He had to copy. Every one of them had to copy the original. Y'all got it. Don't y'all know every Malak was graded by his Abba?
Wow.
Whether he walked in all the ways of his Abba or he turned. So it's going to show whether or not he was a copy. So that's what he told you about Allah. It served into the example of the copy. That copy, go ahead and serve as an example. Go ahead.
And shadow and the things that are in the Shamayim, just as Mashyach.
Parallel. So it served as a shadow thing. So Jerusalem served as a shadow to what's up there. That's why I told you pray. That's why you say your kingdom come. Your will be done just like it, because it's supposed to be a copy. You're copying what goes on there. Go ahead.
Just as Mashyach was warned by Alahym
To do what?
when he was about to erect the Mashkan.
To do what?
For see, he says to you, that you make all things according to his pattern, which was shown you on the heart.
Make sure you copy it just like I wrote it. Make sure you copy the get like me. Do what you see me do. You remember that get like me? Y'all remember that? You take people money, my turn. You flip it. Get like me. You take your hand, and mine's on here, and I take my head off, and yours on tail, I just took your money. Because you're supposed to get like me. Mine's on head, yours on tail. So I'm gonna take it from them. Y'all, how many of y'all remember get like me? These jokers look at me like I made up something just now. That was big time. You want to be the first one you put, get like me. I said, take it out. They want to know got head. They look tail. Let me get that. They do it again. You got another quarter. They be like, I'm done. You don't play long. You'll never get $5. Not from the same nigga. No, I don't keep playing that game. No, you need to get like me. So this is what he was warned to do, to make sure he copied exact. Y'all got it? So everybody understood to stay exact. Okay? Come on.
But now he has obtained a more excellent Shara, as much as it is a better Berit, that he is the mediator of it, which was established upon better Shara and benefits.
Yes.
For if that first Berit had been faultless,
What happened? Come on.
there should no Malcolm have sought for the second.
But
For he says, in finding fault with them,
stop. Correlation, hands. I got the hallway. Who behind the hallway if he get it wrong? What you said do? What you did? He ain't not gonna look over. Roy said, Roy didn't look like Roy. You look. I think the hand. I said, hold on. Roy said, I know that Russ. I got you. All right, you behind him. This two. I got a Hob and Hump. You came out the Hob. Let's see what. Look at him. Hob. I hope you had that answer for no answer. You doing a lot of talking. Go ahead. What's your answer? Who had over him? What you got? Who? You gonna lay and recall what? No, yeah. Why would you tie? What would you now? What you correlate it to? Yeah. Oh, okay. Finding fault with the first one, he picked the second one. Okay, that's pretty good. What you got? Yeah, that's good. But yeah, I know what I'm looking at. That's why we looked at why he got the second. Because he found fault with it. He said he found fault with them. Remember, the two should be one. It was him and her. He didn't put one out. He put both of them out. So amazingly, the writer said finding fault with them. That can't be a singular statement. That's plural. So he found fault with both. He told the man to take your wife for him to get out. That's why I was a need for the second one. So that's the only reason why your answer wouldn't work. because he found fault with them and not the one. And you like his answer. Come on, put that check up. Who is them? But what you gonna do with finding fault with them? So he supposed to got second one because he had a problem with Laban and recall. How many of y'all like his answer? You like his answer? You do. Come on, get in line. Come on. Who else? No, who? No, y'all chilling. Who else? I said another grown hand. Who the other hand? Come on, put a check on him.
Don't worry.
They emotional. There was them. What you think about the answer? Somebody, who else? Somebody else? It was somebody else. It was another grown hand back there. Where y'all know? I'm be trying to hide. You know them two there. Who might? I see somebody done caught the rod back there. Joanna, she said. Everybody gonna do the rod. Did you have your hand? You agree with it? You like that answer? Wasn't there some other hand? Just you like the answer? Oh, good. He didn't want that check right now. Now he was going, but I mean, what he was saying will work, but then he said finding fault with them. Sometimes you could find the first part of something you kind of use, but when he come back and said finding fault with them, she wouldn't work because it was singular. You know what I'm saying? It was her. He looked at, he found a fault with her versus the second one. But when you talking about the Torah, the reason why he's establishing the second one, because he found fault with them. So we're looking at Yahuah. Yahusha, remember, we're talking about shadow. We're dealing with shadows and patterns, okay? Come on.
Or he says, in finding fault with them here, behold, the Yamin come, says Yahuah,
What you gonna do?
when I shall conclude with the bet of Yashar'AL and with the bet of Yehuda, a new Berit,
See that? I'm gonna make a new one. What happened?
not according to the Berit which I made with their abode
Mhm.
on the Yum, when I took them by the hands to lead them out of the land of the Aras of Mizraim,
And what happened?
because they broke my Berit,
And what happened?
and I neglected them, says Yahuah.
We talk about he's trying to neglect them. What happened?
For this is the Berit that I shall make with the bet of Yashar'AL
Pay
after those
attention.
Yamin,
This is the one he gonna make in those days. Tell him what you gonna do.
says Yahuah. I shall put my Torah among them,
Yes.
and I shall katab them on their law,
And I'm gonna write them on their law.
and I shall be to them as Alahym, and they shall be to me as a
Yes.
and they shall lament no more every one his fellow citizen, and every one his ox, saying, know Yahuah, for all shall know me from the least to the greatest of them. For I shall be recome to their Rosha, and to their Kataim, and to their iniquities shall I zakar no more. Behold, in that he said, a new Berit.
Stop. 2 Corinthians 6:17. Second Corinthians 6:17. Listen.
Therefore, come out from the midst and be Badal, is Yahuah, and do not touch what is unclean, and I shall receive you.
Tell him.
And I shall be a Abba to you, and ye shall be Beni and Banu to me, says Yahuah Almighty.
What's gonna have to happen? Hand. Got Jahid. Jahid. What you got, Jahid? Boss, what's the answer? What's the answer? What you got, Chris? What you looking down for? They gotta come out. What you got? Who else had a hand up? What you got, Ryan? What you say? Put it in their heart. Who else we got? What you got, Karen? Adoption. What you got, Hall? Do what? They gotta be born again. I know I gotta get them man some paperwork. What you got? Who hand was up back down? Yours or Dwight? Bo. Who going first? Neither one. They'll say, oh no, a boy. Dwight, like he still want to do it. Let's see. I'm gonna see if y'all get it. What you got, Pastor? Silver? You gotta have the silver. He's like Jet Redder. He said you gotta have the silver and the clothes. That two chat, go ahead. That man said you gotta have the silver. I'm like, the silver. I got. Jackson, give me an answer. Chris, you gotta pay like you want to try it. Nobody? Right? Oh, I'm sorry. Jerry. Paperwork with adoption. Now, why the man said the same answer they done said? I heard that thing how many times. So you know the adoption paperwork. They ain't saying paperwork. They kept saying adoption. They said paperwork. And no, what y'all should have looked at. He said that when he asked him to be his Abba, do y'all remember what he told me to do?
You're gonna dwell with him.
That's what you missing. He had to dwell, which means you had to stay there. That's the same verse. This man says silver is the same thing as dwelling. How many of y'all? He
You
said
gotta witness.
that's the next part of it. That's not the point. No, so this is what we're looking at. And the only reason why we looked at all this is based off of when we're reading key things. Because now we're dealing with something, and that put a different aspect. Because we never looked at Yashar'AL being adopted. We looked at Yashar'AL as being like coming out from it. You see what I'm saying? Issued out from the loins. So now we're looking at, he's saying who pertained to adoption. So then we went through. So once I read that with y'all, I had to start running back through tracing that found adoption, something where we can find that correlation relationship. But remember, the key was he was looking for somewhere to dwell. This is something Alahym told you he was looking for. He said that Shamim is my throne. They'll roster my first dude. Get what he asked you. And where's the place of my rest? See, remember when the man from Louis was traveling, all he was trying to find was somewhere to rest. Well, the young man, remember, if you stay here, then you'll be an Abba to me. He didn't have to say, I'll be your son. That's common sense. If you're going to be my father, isn't that natural that I'm going to be your child?
Mm-hmm.
And Yahuah told you before, he said, I will dwell among them. What was he trying to tell us? That you're going to be my children. I'm going to be your Abba. So that's what I try to look at when I explain things to you, is going through finding correlations. You can take it for he said something or who belonged to adoption and run off using, skits or whatever about adoption in natural world. But I want to show you a relationship and understand why he kept saying, I'm going to dwell among you. When we look at the best, which is the what for us? The four, who's in the house? The family, which composite of who? The Abba and the Benin. Yeah, I said it. So this is a correlation. So him tell you, I'm going to dwell with you and walk among them. This is because I'm going to be your Abba. So when you go back through the writers, you can see a situation where a man told you, I'm looking for somewhere to stay. And if you take me in, then let me be your Abba.
Yeah.
And you'll be my son, my Benin, my children. And that's what he was trying to get us to see. But then there has to be a separation. Mm-hmm. So we see now the man is looking for somewhere to stay, but he's not going to stay nowhere where he's going to be, well, me and you can stay here. But I'm going to tell you now, you ain't going to be over me, I ain't going to be over you. I don't even want to stay there. He said, wherever I stay, I want to be the Abba. That's the plan. That's the full plan. I got to be the Abba, and you got to be the Benin. Mm-hmm. Hello?
Yes, sir.
And with this, he can show you how to flow plan. I can get you to cross over to the other side. See, that's what, like, crossing over, everybody trying to get the crossover. The same thing we get with people. Come over, your friends don't go in your parents' room. It's certain places they don't go. They tell no further than the living room. They didn't go to the bathroom, go home. There's someone for them play that stuff. No, don't cross over the living room. What about you in the bathroom? Go home. That let you know, you need to get in the bathroom. It's time for you to go.
Yeah.
Y'all, how many of y'all new folk like old folk? They ain't play that stuff, man. You be all over no house. All up in no, what they do in the kitchen? Mm-hmm. They got a refrigerator overhead and they got to cover that thing like this. How you doing, Mr. Your hand was in that refrigerator? True. I'm trying to joke, a whole butt buried in there. No. Your friend ain't going to the refrigerator. That's off limit. True. You ask for one, nigga pop straight out, open your refrigerator and start drinking. I know, you just had to ask. Right. That thing's sacred, you going down. They're like, but now it's a whole nother world now. So we understood the direction. When we're reading this, we understand how things are established. So in a sense, he had to adopt him. Same way we look at Yahusha with Yosef. It wasn't his biological son. So he basically would have took him in under of adoption. Because when he came to her, she was already with child. She didn't get with child with him. She already had it. So he look at, I'm going to take him as my son. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's get back and finish up. My end is I want us to understand it. For years, I mean, you'll be surprised how much you read you don't stop and pay attention to. You don't really look at relationship. You're just reading words and you like, I understand what words mean maybe, but you're not looking at, this is all built upon something. I want you to know what's your relationship. You know, how he your father? Because he loved me. People say some stuff that you just don't want to fight him on. You're like, is that your defense? How he your father? Because he loved me. You can prove it from adoption. You can prove it from relationship. It's so many different ways he show you, so you solidify it because you don't really got no business what you're saying. Somebody can move you from it. Because you really don't know why. You just really reciting. So I want y'all to understand why. He said, I'll dwell among them, which means I'll take you in as my Abba, and I'll be your Benin. Y'all got it? That's who we're going to be. We're going to be the Benin. So we want to understand the relationship. Y'all got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, come on. Come on back over to what in Romans 9. Whoa. I'm trying to get ready and get y'all out of here too. Let's see how far we get. Maybe you'll let us finish it up tomorrow. Come on. But see, it take time when you ain't just racing through something. The end, are y'all understanding is it helping y'all kind of understand it versus just run through? Because we could have been a lot further than this, but then how enriched would your understanding be? Because it's certain thing here, I gotta look at it. It's talking about adoption. I mean, my mom thinking adoption. Okay, I've heard somebody, I didn't pay attention and stop and really look at it. You know, now how you correlate that? Now he done told you that whatever written the fourth time, written for your learning. So what you gonna go back and retrieve to help you learn that? Well, we ain't gotta know everything. We just gotta learn how to trust him more. When he told you to learn how to trust me more, don't read. I ain't give you a lot of literature for you not to read it. Isn't that right, Dr. Geese? I want you to read this. You're going to have a surgery. Come back and say, did you read the information? I just trust you. I didn't give you that for no trust. You need to know what's going to happen. I need you to familiarize yourself. There were some things you need to do before you got here. I just figured when I came, you'll tell. So you think, why would I have given that if I was going to tell you everything when you got here? There are some things I needed you to know before you came. Just like before we get to my spot. There's some stuff, don't get them. I don't know. Can you tell me now, Lord? There's some stuff you need to know before you get to my spot. Y'all got it? Okay.
Sure.
Let's go. We're at 5 now. Should be at 5.
To whom are the Abba, and from whom is according is Basar, the Mashyach came.
See that? To whom are the Abba, are the fathers, and from whom is according to the Basar, the Mashyach came. See, it makes sense, which is the anointed one. That's why he came. Hello? That's something to go along with that. You ain't gonna believe it. Is it not a cause? Relating to who? Daoud. What was Daoud? Say it again. He was the Mashyach. After Shaul had fallen, he sent Shamuel in to the Beth of Yashi. And he told him to take a horn of oil. And who I tell you, the Mashyach, that's how I want you to Mashyach. So Daoud was Mashyach. That's why you need to look at Yahushua being his Ben. Typically the son would take on the same occupation as the Abba. Daoud was the Mashyach. After all his Akim was standing there and he had chose none of the 7, then Daoud came. He asked him, was there any more? He said, I got one more. He said, he keeps sheep. He said, fetch him. We can't sit down until he get him. That's important to you hands. Why? I got a hand right here. Hallway hand. Darren over there. What you got, Darren? He told about us sitting down, eating and drinking in his mouth. Cool. See, that was important for you to realize because he was the Ben of Daoud. See, none of them could eat until Daoud came. Nobody could sit down and eat. He told them. He said, we won't eat till he come in. So that's why they had to wait on him. That's why Yahusha told you. He told you, we're going to eat and drink in my mouth. Cool. And the reason we're going to do it, because I'm going to be there. Trying to show you again his connection to that. But see, a lot of people don't feel like it's important. Since a lot of stuff he said, you had to really wonder why. Why we gotta wait to do it when we get in Malakym? Because you can't do it till I'm there. They couldn't eat till Daoud got there. See, all this, it's because everybody, listen, everybody's appetite for him is different. Everybody's knowledge about him is different. So everybody's behavior is different. So when you start understanding just how technical he is, because at that point, we ain't even worried about Daoud. We talking about his Malakym, but he's still showing you, I still keep Barith. That one thing was the man keep Barith to thousands of them that are hot. I'm still keeping stuff. It don't matter about you being dead. It's the fact it's my word. And I'm still keeping it. When I told you he was the Ben of Daoud, watch him. I want you to watch him and see how they parallel. So he said, because of the connection, to whom are the Abba, the fathers, and from whom is, according to the Basar, the Mashyach came. Daoud came. He said, because Yashar'AL, when Goliath, he said, that man had defied Yashar'AL. His aunt asked him, he said, why are you out here? And who you left them the sheep with? He said, is it not a cause? He said, this man done defied Yashar'AL. See, that's the same mindset that Yahushua had. They want to know what he came for. He wanted to let them know, is it not a cause? He that was something against Yashar'AL. I had to be him. That was his Abba. See, what showed you the strong driver why people kept certain patterns because of the father? Okay, so if I told you I'm Alahym and I tell you my son, what am I telling you? That you're gonna have to copy. You got to copy what I do. That's what the sons did. If I was Malak, it's on the natural my son's gonna be Malak. Why wouldn't he be? So if he's an emperor and you his son and his daughter, why wouldn't you be an emperor? Why wouldn't you be a Malakym? Why wouldn't you be a Malak? That wouldn't make no sense with it. You would have to be. So all this was predicated on a relationship, which means you're gonna have to, if I gotta make a copy and I gotta keep a copy of it, what you gotta do if you're gonna follow behind me? And matter of fact, I'm supposed to teach it to you. You ain't gonna believe it. Your law said, and they should all be taught of who? Because that's your Abba. He told you in the book of Yeshayahu, he said, all your children should be taught by me. All of them be taught of me. They have to be. Hello? If we don't understand these things, that's why we'll continue to falter in our relationship. Because you don't understand, this man did a lot. It ain't what you thinking. You thinking he just came down here, lived 33 years, he taught them, he healed some people and left. He did a lot more than that. That's why you can try to tell you, if you wrote everything the man did. He said, I suppose the world couldn't even contain it. You couldn't contain it because everything he kept, listen, it's too many, listen, it was a lot more because he got a lot of gainsayers he had to convince. Those are disputers. People would dispute this man on everything he did. People watching him for error, keep watching. Even to the fact he said, when he got out there, you know what them people did? They sat down. He gonna be here for a minute, and I'm gonna be looking. They sat down and watched him. I want to see what he gonna do. And he told, and those that watched and those that waited. How would they know it? Because it would line up with everything they had been told. That's why they sat down and watched him. Them folks sat right down there to watch him. I'm just gonna see how far he gonna go with this. He been saying this stuff ever since I remember the boy was talking. I'm gonna see what he do now. And they sat there and found him and they realized that's him. So different of us people, our people got their differences, got their doubts or disbeliefs about it. I ain't that person. I'm not that guy. Because everything you do just line up. And the fact that you'll keep something that really, it don't make one way head or tails to me about that. We eat once he get there, we sound. But it does when you look, I'm telling you as a person, I ain't saying now, not at all trying to denote that. It's the fact that you still keeping that. You keep that. You don't keep that. You think that was someone saying, man, I hope that boy ain't before he get in there. Man, that gonna piss me off. That man, no. That man looking at that man gone. Had nothing to do with that. But you know who are looking at? You gone. I'm still keeping it. I ain't moved one. I needed that. I need to know when I'm gone, everything ain't just over. I'm still keeping it. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Just like who the shout let us keep the feast. Yo, that man said, and right in the book of Abarym, he said, let us keep the feast. He said, keep the muhard. Not with the old leaven of sincerity. Isn't that right? I'm talking about this is what we got to do. We trying to be a new lump. So we looking at this man is still keeping what he said. You need that confidence in him. To know somebody can still be in his debar is still with you, even up to and after. Everybody with you to an end, to a certain point. You get a certain point, listen, people go to the nursing home, and I was telling somebody about it. One reason you go to the nursing home, anybody know why? I told somebody, if you haven't heard it, just don't tell me. Who? Say it louder. No, it's value. That's value. No, it's gonna basically, that's right. It's gonna be value. I gotta look at the cost. The cost is people got you out now cause you more effective here out now. But when you're not, you're going somewhere else. They gotta do the cost analysis. It's too expensive to keep you when you can't do for yourself. It's not you can really impart to people to say keep you here. I need to put you there. Okay. I'm just telling you, he told Cuff when he was young, what did he do? When he old, signifying that he finna be going to a nursing home. Son, you finna die. He said, another one gonna carry you where you wouldn't even go, signifying you leaving him. See, that's why you can't afford to mess around. But he let him know though, you were able to get around, you can go where you want. A lot of y'all, how many y'all can jump up and drive well if you need to go somewhere you drive yourself? Don't worry about it. Them days shortening. They gonna start narrowing. You'll start calling it. You'll come pick me up and take. You're like, what's wrong with you? I don't see like I used to. I can't drive like I used to. That's it, letting you know time. That's why, see, that's why he told young people, the Zakar, what was it? Well, what was it again? He told you why the Shamash, why the Yahweh. He told you about them winter too, why they not darkened. When them winter get dark and you look, you don't have to wipe your windshield before you couldn't see nothing. He said, keep going, you're gonna wipe it, you know what? Still ain't gonna be able to see. Now you know, man, time, you transferring over. That's why we got to start examining things. It's too many different things attack us, come at us. It's too many things you can't afford to keep going the way you're going. Your day's changing. Stop changing. I was looking at some stuff, talking to Faith on the phone. I was looking. I was trying to make up some words. Man, I was missing levels on that thing. Man, I said, my head hurt. Then I said, my head hurt right now for thinking. Man, I tried to get a little letter. I said, what in the world? I had to go I paid my D.O.T. though. I sure appreciate that girl. Well, look him. I had that. She said, cover that eye. I said, she said, you can do it. Take your time. I said, oh, this heifer trying to rush me. He said, why now? I looked up. I said, why y'all got this piss pole light up in this thing? They got a light set back here. I'm at a tape line right here. That thing all the way by that camera. I said, wow. I said, why? This thing dog, it's a dog space. Light here, lightweight. I said, come on. She said, take your time. I'm like, I said, help her, you don't shut up. So she I cut out, listen, I couldn't make out nothing. She said, don't worry about it, we'll go to the net line. I'm like, you can do it. I'm in the same position. I said, I got one. She looked. I said, what ladder it is? She said, look. I said, all right. I said, I get paid this thing. She turned her head, tell me, I said, I got to work. I said, all right, come on. I said, man, I took that left. This him. That boy blind. I didn't take that out to the doctor. I said, that dude can't see nothing. Man, that thing was like, them little was doing. I said, I ain't never seen it before. Yeah. I said, I'm gonna go online and download that little thing and start learning them. They'll make a nigga cheat. Come down. I said, listen. I said, how many times you had to drive down the street with one eye? I said, that's all I'm asking. I said, ain't been nothing on the street. Why am I being asked about these letters? Do you see these letters? She asking me, I'm like, I'm about to ask you, do you know what them letters is? Because I'm too old to be playing the ABC game. That don't make no sense. I said, I know color. I said, look, I can read, I can see other stuff. Why are we playing with this one-eye stuff? That stuff need to be illegal. If I become president, her not gonna get rid of that eye chart. Yeah, we gotta stop it. I'm just not like my neighbor now, she probably needs it. Because she done told out both her cars in about 2 weeks. She said, yeah, I had to go. She said, you lease cars. I said, no, this no call. She done told her both on mine. She told her one and told the other one. Yeah, it's time to come on, just sit at the house. Cause I told my kid though, if I need something, I said, but the kids help you out now. You don't want to start adding nobody now. Get tight in it right. I'll buy your house from you, something like that. But I ain't got time to be trying to run you around. That time though, that thing come get you. You done told her 2 cars in about 2 weeks. It's time to give it up. It's time to go and get that bicycle. I'm trying to tell you now. Isn't that right? That way you hear the car, you can tell a lie or something. I like the car hit you. Y'all all right? I'm trying to tell you. It's rough out here. A lot of y'all, how many y'all days getting shot out here driving? Don't tell it. They getting bad. Where's the eyes kind of seeing? Some of the man had their arm up. You just raise your hand, big man. Come on, man. Put the ticket on. How you gonna blame other folks? You the one raise your hand, big man. Because of them. How you gonna raise your hand for other people? Say, how many of y'all drive? That man raised his hand. That's what he's doing. Everybody else. We'll ask y'all to raise your hand if it's everybody else. Now, I'm telling you, man, this driving time, man, look at him. Time change on you, man. Y'all better learn to appreciate it. More getting glasses. I love mine. I'm about to get me some glasses. I'm about to buy glasses that put me everywhere. I'm about to get something like Fred Sample. Open that drawer, put them all on the table. Give me a pill. I ain't lying. I need glasses for my glasses.
Yeah.
They don't get you long. Listen, I look, that thing be so pretty. You said, I be just so clear. Them things just go down. They like, all right, time to cut back off. I said, oh my goodness, my glasses need glasses. They don't laugh. They might know that. You'll have it. They'd be like, all right, that's what I need. Then them things start saying, all right, you going back to sleep. I don't know what happened. That's just time. You learn to appreciate Yahuah. I'm telling y'all, man, a lot of stuff people don't realize. Man, he let you borrow this stuff. Ain't that right? Like you ain't had your heart in no time, bigger them glasses. Hey. Yeah, she'd have had some sight. Like you'd have seen a long time, like 2 weeks. That mess up. She right there by Ray Charles. When you get glasses and they got your forehead in there, you real blind. That mean, no, bro, that mean you cockeyed. That mean your eye, cause your eye will go up like this and you'll go. So I'm afraid they hit that much glass because they know your eye be going down. They want to still stay within the bowl. Some people eye leave the bowl. Y'all don't think so? I'm just trying to help. Hello? Because sometimes some people eye go outside their glasses. You ever notice that? Still time. Well, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna get ready and let y'all go tonight. And then Yahuah willing, we'll try to see he let her pick back up. But the goal again is to get understanding about what we're reading. So we want to know what it is he's trying to, what performance he's trying to get. It's just like when you tune an engine, a person that's tuning it, that's familiar with it, know what you might say, that's good for me. But a person that tuned knows say, it's not at perfection yet. It's something you say, well, I don't hear it. To me, it's because there's not something you do. A lot of times what we've been doing something and it's been good from our perspective, but his profession is tuning. So that's getting it to perfection. Because a lot of times it's some other things that happen. And for him, he want to make sure if you let me tune the way it's supposed to go, I get the best performance out of you. So taking our time and getting an understanding to what we're reading and the correlation, it makes sense because, like I said, a lot of people are fabricating a relationship with, and they can't justify the relationship. Everybody, oh, well, God, everybody, Father, I do just show it to me. I do good, just show it to them. And they can't find it. They'll find something, run it, throw something together. You got to understand the relationship and how you actually connect to him. You know what I'm saying? And then you understand how to keep the relationship enriched. You got it? That's the end of what we're trying. Just like they did with uranium, enriching it to where you can get the performance out of it. So to get the performance out of Yahuah, enriching it, and when we get the knowledge, then we understand the relationship. We understand what established upon, just like him establishing another Abarym that's established upon better promises. Understanding that the whole thing was always about promises, it wasn't about the law. That I gave you the law, but what I was going to give you was a promise. It was all a promise. And understanding is a hard thing sometimes for people to get and to understand and not get themselves where they get outside of the directions of the Torah. You know what I'm saying? Keeping it, but understanding the relationship that what he's going to grant us is because of the promise. Hello?
Sure.
And because of the promise. Just to prove it to you. What's the guy, our daddy? What's his name? Abraham. Well, let's look at Yahudah. Yahudah. Because he had a daughter-in-law. Tamar. He wound up sleeping with her. Y'all remember that?
Mhm.
And he gave her his ring and his bracelet. Because of the law. Because of the what? So it wasn't about the law. It was about the promise. See, she got the son because of the promise. Not because of the law. He left her something. Y'all got it? Was the sign. He gave the bracelet, he gave his ring. And he promised her he was gonna, she was like, well, how I know you're gonna give me the kid? Because she was looking for restitution. Now, I need to be paid, compensated. He said, well, I'm gonna get what she said, hold on, man, you can't, we just can't run. We don't do that right here, no word. He said, well, I'll leave you something for the promise. To prove to you I'm gonna come back. So it's about the promise. Wasn't about the law, was it? It's about the promise. The law is what got his son killed, remember? Onan, that's how he died. He spilled on the floor. What was he supposed to do? Bring up seed to his ark, so his ark could have a name. And that was the what? The law. So the law killed it. The promise gave life. That's why you pay me. That'd be too. I appreciate y'all.